folks at the stove. No, he threw on fizz cause he don't want smoke. No, but up in his mind he letting it go. I'm from the stars, just letting you know. That ain't how my niggas roll. That ain't how my niggas roll. No, that ain't how my niggas roll. That ain't how my niggas roll. That ain't how my niggas roll. Nigga, let that pistol blow. You ain't got pistols, what is your issue? You just a victim, ho. Don't even whisper, or you might get shot. You spit on this block, your tissue might drop. Never play with no ops, no. If he screaming ops, then he just might play with your soul. I'm cocking that fire, you twitch, I'm letting it go. Bitch, I extinguish your smoke. Look how that single just spoke. Look how your demons exposed. You screaming pimp, so I can't believe all of this over hoes. You just a simp, so you get exempt, you sucking on toes. Tongue up and booty hoes. You like them juvie hoes. Hating on me, cause I pull up quick with 2 or 3 movie hoes. I got your bitch in back of my whip and she doing movie roles. I seen your clique, a couple of bricks, and they put a tag on your toes. Oh, now they say wiping your nose. Oh, and now it's just leaving them cold. When the beat drop, never get old. You sold your soul, and now you can't rap no more. You sold your soul, and now you can't rap no more. They stand on this block, he walks to the stove. No, he threw on fizz cause he don't want smoke. No, but up in his mind, he letting it go. I'm from the stars, just letting you know. That ain't how my niggas roll. That ain't how my niggas roll. No, that ain't how my niggas roll. That ain't how my niggas roll. That ain't how my say, look, yeah, nigga, you know what the fuck it is. Nigga know why you put that fizz on. Nigga know why you really put that bitch on. Cause you ain't with that. Talk all that fucking gang shit. Nigga, stop living in the past. You a hoe now. Wear that shit. A nigga pulled up on you when you was in this city. You wasn't with none of that. You running out the back door and shit. That ain't how my niggas roll, nigga. Got it all. Lame ass nigga. Comprehend. Incontinent. Once again. Pit shit, nigga. Pit boys in this motherfucker. O&E saying pit records. Corleone all day. Fuck these niggas talking about. Jigga City 225, nigga. All the way live. Fuck. I do what these niggas can't. Stove. No, he threw on fizz cause he don't want smoke. No, but up in his mind he letting it go. I'm from the stars, just letting you know. That ain't how my niggas roll. That ain't how my niggas roll.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. I, the host, but not so much the most, Classic Craige, and I'm with the one and only Great Reverend RaXchet Craige in the building. What it do, Reverend? What we got today, Chief? What we got today?
There they have my niggas roll, man. What's up? What we got here, man? We got James Cassel, the Argument King, versus DJ Seanski. The first official battle of the ideologies. Right here, versus.
The first versus. And before we start, right? Because I also got to give DJ Sean, I got to knight him as the electrifier. You know what I'm saying? Because he comes with a lot of electrifying information that'll shock you to the core, right? But one thing I got to say, though, ladies and gentlemen, like the great Reverend RaXchet said, right? This is the battle of ideologies. For short, it's just the verses. It's a one-on-one battle. It is no judges involved, no cutting a person off, just complete one-on-one. It's timed, and not only that, we pull up sources for you if you need them. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell if a person loses just by based off the weakness of the argument. It's going down. It is one-on-one combat. It's for real. It's serious. It's ferocious, and it's a man's battle, and also it's a woman's duel if you think about it too, because we love the ladies and they're all invited to the showdown in the sick dick. But I gotta say, let's get to this business, brothers. Let's get to this business. The argument king and the electrifier. This is going to be exciting.
Yes. Yes, it is, man. These brothers, man, they were going back on Facebook, man, and this how we came up on this. So we had to sell it over here in the battle of the ideologies, man. We had to sell it. If you want to expound on that, Craig, you can.
Yeah.
What you see?
So check this out, right? One thing about the battle of ideologies, man. Hey, you can come to us, classic Craige, Craig. You can come to DMG when he comes back. You know what I'm saying, and say, yo, I want to be a part of this debate. It'll just be totally centered on those two people going at it. Nobody will cut each other off. It's just complete you and the other guy. You know what I'm saying? No judges involved. No crooked fucking goddamn me. Anything getting in the way of you and your opponent. It's just a one-on-one battle, head to head. Of course, it'll be on the whole Evan Show and Paradigm Shift, and we have a third channel it'll be on. We're working on fixing that third channel to where we exclusively have that content on those channels, right? And that channel would be pretty much basically for those one-on-one debates. So this is the first debate, the first battle of the ideologies, and I couldn't think of two better people to start off with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that these two brothers came and they agreed to do it. Hopefully it's not.
Appreciate the brothers.
Appreciate you. But yeah, man, that's what it is, man. We've been working on this project for a while, and it's time to let it fly. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, DJ Seanski.
Yeah, what's up?
You got the first 5 minutes of engagement, man. It's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. You have a problem with James Cassel and his information, man. Do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'm gonna kick it off.
Yeah, you got 5 minutes, man.
So quickly, we was having an exchange on Facebook on LP's post about atheism, and atheists don't have proof in their belief, basically. So if anybody knows me, I'm an atheist in terms of not believing in the Bible or God of the Quran, but I'm not a pure atheist in the sense that I dismiss the possibility of a creator, not a God. I've been dealing with this for years. I can argue better a creator versus a God because God is too ambiguous and it's coming from the Bible anyway. So I can frame my argument around the fact that we have the wrong concept of God in the first fucking place. It's too ambiguous. It's open to too much interpretation. And if the philosophers engage, this is what it came down to. If the philosophers engage, he put up a source from a guy named Plantigna, if I'm pronouncing it right, James, Plantigna. I never heard of the guy. Plantinga. So I looked at it, the paper, and right away, since I have a website and have all this stuff already outlined, I was like, oh shit, it's the classic good God argument, and we're gonna look past evil. Because he cited Immanuel Kant and Arthur Schopenhauer in his paper. And I'm like, shit, I fucks with them guys. I already know what the argument is. Even though this Leibniz, Gottfried Leibniz had the same argument in like 1705 or some shit. It's an old argument. So what these philosophers will do is they want to prove the existence of God. So they come up with the term or the definition of God being, as James put it, a maximally great being with even greater attributes. And they skirt right past evil and just keep it all good. So what they do is they dismiss evil as something that's actually necessary in our learning and development, and or something that's needed. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, slow the fuck down. No, we can't skirt past it. Real plain and simple. Is there a way around evil that exists around us, or can we lay it at God's feet? Is there a way that I can get out of evil? Does God want equality and peership with me, with him? Be that the case, I won't take a pure atheist stance. I'm putting the evil right at God's fucking feet. Then God is fucking the responsible for evil. Fuck that. I've been arguing this in the back chats for years. Fuck that, man. You accept that? Holy shit. Damn, we looking right past everything around us in the natural world then to say God is good, but evil, we need it, or he didn't have anything to do with it. This guy, Plantigno, however the fuck you pronounce his name, he skirts past it so bad. I was like, damn, this guy is obviously a theist. You can tell in his paper, and I watched a short video about the evil stuff. He skirts right past it to the point where evil is absolutely something that God didn't create, but he selected. Like, damn, this motherfucker selected evil. How the fuck you select something if it's not created? Then who created the evil? Damn. He selected it, and it's for us for our own good. He even used Job as the example, which to me is an epic poem in fiction. He used that to say that that's a good thing. I'm gonna fuck you up, Job, just so I can flex my muscles and show you how merciful I am. Damn, y'all. Damn. I'm laying evil right at God's feet. And that the Hebrew concept then of this whole thing is misguided and wrong. To the point, this same Old Testament bullshit we're even talking about right now led to the slaughter, death of an innocent man. How wonderful is that? Hang this motherfucker. Get him up there. They put him up, man. From this bullshit right here, this misguided way of looking at God, it's incorrect. And if human beings think that it's correct, then we're pretty fucked up. The people that wrote it are pretty fucked up. And to defend it, it isn't 100% defensible. It's not. This guy, Plantigna, it's not his whole stance is not 100% defensible. And it becomes sophomoric. I was like, damn. I first gave him some credit because he seems like he's well-spoken. He's intelligent. He presents very well. But I'm like, this is some sophomoric fucking bullshit. If you just want to skirt away from evil and say there's a reason for it, and it has to do with the betterment of us, and God selected it and didn't create it, I'm like, damn, that's a logical flaw in itself. How do you select something that isn't creative? Then who the fuck created it? I'm putting it right back at God's feet. I'm not going to take the pure atheist stance, though Schopenhauer was an atheist. Yes. I ain't going to go to Nietzsche's work. I'm not even going to go there. But like, damn.
1 minute left. 1 minute left.
We that just that oblivious that we can just skirt past fucking evil? I already know the argument. I'm like, damn, evil. He's right there. I'm laying it at God's feet. Fuck it. You want God to be real? He's responsible. And we know as human beings, when shit is shady, we can't really get got in the streets. I always use these examples, man. 3-car Molly, fake gold chains, somebody hustling you. But we give God a fucking pass. Really? Or we'll explain it away with the New Testament somehow. But the Israelites love that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that. God is, yeah, Yahweh. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But then Christians go, yeah, the Old Testament is evil. I can't look past that shit.
Ty. This is your opening statement. Thank you, brother. Now we finna go next to James Cassel. You ready, Mike?
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
You ready, Mike? Go ahead. Rock it out.
Hey, this right here is going to be kind of weird starting off because I can tell he probably read the beginning of it, but he didn't read the full paper that I gave to him because the paper ain't about just proving God is just all good and thing like no. That paper, the main objective of that paper is to make a person get out of the middle ground of being like agnostic or a soft atheist or soft theist, to make them choose either strong atheism or strong theism. That's all that paper really does at the end of the day. But what he's promoting right now is the emotional problem of evil. I'm a grown man. I don't argue from my emotions. Now, if he was approaching the logical problem of evil, that's an argument to be had. But he's coming with the emotional, how he feels about it, how he likes what God does or what God doesn't do. That ain't for me to judge. I don't sit here and argue about how I feel about things. But for him even to carry this notion of being this good or God good or evil, he he's already kind of acquiesced to God exists. I thought because this is the reason I want to talk on Facebook and not just jump online. That way I can get a good understanding of what you're trying to present here.
Right.
Because right now it's like, okay, you took what I presented to you completely out of context because you just read the beginning, then assumes you knew what the rest of it was about, which it wasn't. But right now you're just presenting the emotional problem of evil. I can't control how anybody feels about it, but if you want to present like the logical problem of evil, where you're saying the existence of evil is contradictory to the existence of God, that's one thing. But right now, yeah, it's emotions, bro. And anybody who know me, I really don't argue about how I feel and how you feel. I argue about what's real and what ain't real, what's facts and what ain't facts, or what's more probable and what ain't probable. But like I said, I'm still interested in the dialogue. I'm still willing to have it. But don't assume I'm an Israelite. Don't assume I'm going to be sitting here spitting Bible verses at you, trying to convince you of this at all. Because I come from it from a very logical perspective. Because I believe you change the mind in order to change the heart, not you change the heart to change the mind. For some people, it may be the opposite. But for someone like me, I approach things more from a logical and illogical standpoint, what makes sense, what don't make sense standpoint, than I do from how I feel and how you feel about it. Because the real world don't care about how we feel. And if the creator has a greater plan in which he allows evil for that greater plan, then I don't think he would care about how you felt in relation to the greater plan or the greater good. Like, for instance, if my nephew was to get upset about the way I was handling something in the house, but that was the only way to get it done, I wouldn't sit here and be concerned with how he feels about it. I'm going to be concerned about the results at the end of the day, how happy he going to be is when he's able to use it. But yeah, like I said, I'm still willing to have this dialogue. I'm really open to it. I'm more of I would say a semi-deist. I do believe in a God, of course, but I believe that there are times where God is not as involved with his creation, and that may be in feelings in his relationship to his creation, or if he feels like, his creation's going off, whatever. But at times he is not directly involved with or always supervising type thing with his creation. He can turn his back on his creation, go maybe to another creation. I don't know. That's God stuff. I don't know what they do. But I'm not gonna sit here and, like I said, spit out Bible verses or anything. I'm gonna tell you what the philosophers say, what the academics are saying about it, because that's where I feel like we should get our information from. The academics, the people who spend their lives thinking about these issues. That don't mean they're always correct, and there's always going to be academics disagreeing with each other in the field of philosophy. But most academics at this point pretty much consider the problem of evil, especially atheist philosophers, consider it bankrupt. There's nowhere to really go with it, except unless you're just trying to move people emotionally. You have the emotional problem of evil that can move people emotionally, but from a logical standpoint, there's no contradiction of God and evil. God doesn't have to be
45 seconds.
Yeah, God doesn't have to be in agreement with evil for evil to exist. These things. So if he wants to get into that, kind of lay out some things, but yeah, the emotional thing, yeah, I don't see how that proves or disproves anything. It just moves people based off their emotions, and nobody should think and move in life based on how they feel. And I'll just yield there.
Woo. Nice. All right, so DJ Seanski, you got it. 5 minutes. What you got, Chief?
Well, that's cool then, because now I understand him a little bit better, and he probably understands me a little bit better. So I'm coming with an argument that's not from a purely atheistic stance. It would be somewhere between deism and even pandeism, if you want to break it down that way. So I can argue a creator, not God. See, I have an issue with that, but I'll explain. I can argue a creator or an intelligent designer, pro or con, either way. So I ain't got no skin in the game like that. I guess I got pissed off because nobody can check me. You can't check me and say I'm not looking for the truth, this and that. I have a website that has 680 articles of various subject matter. It actually got lost in the sauce because the domain expired, and I bought it back up. It's not quite transferred all the way yet, but still, I've addressed these issues in the back chat since I met everybody and where I'm coming from. And I'm older, but it doesn't really always necessarily mean anything. But I put a lot of work and time into seeking out the truth without me in the middle of it. I used to be an Israelite, I used to be a Christian. And we have pretty friendly exchanges, if you will. We get heated in the back chats, but nobody can check me that way. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm somehow bugging out. But again, back to the argument. So I'm agreeing with some of what you're saying, basically. But I still am going to stick to my guns in terms of, if we're going to paint the picture of this God, this benevolent, magnificent, maximally great being, then we have to be clear on evil, just clear on it. It exists around us. It's not an emotional thing. It's real. 3,000 people died in Morocco a little while ago from an earthquake. Boom, gone. We see it all around us. So we don't have to put it in contrast with a God that's testing us with evil, because we can put it in context in real world life pretty quickly. Take a pacifier away from a baby or a bottle or some food. They cry. We don't really need to be tested with evil. But I was always saying was, if we want there to be a God, okay, sure. You want to be this great, good God? Then we have to talk about the evil. Who created it? Where did it come from? And if he's God, why is he letting it happen? Because then it turns into a good parent, bad parent thing. If you're the parent, you're in control. You're supposed to be in control. How do you let something like this happen? DIFUS would come in people's cribs and CYS and different agencies and say, you're neglecting these children, man. Y'all ain't doing right. We got to take the kids away. We're not putting the onus on God. We're trying to explain it away, or at least the philosophers try to explain it away. And they do brush past it. Plantinga brushes past it. Leibniz brushes past it and don't deal with it head on. Though Schopenhauer just took it head on. Fuck that. But he's a pure atheist. So they just dismissed the argument. I'm not dismissing the argument. So I first said God, the name God is too ambiguous. It's open to too many different interpretations or how we take it. So just to say a maximally great being, I'm like, well, damn, how? How is he maximally great? Is he strong? Is he big? Is he fast? Can he dunk a basketball? You know, Antonio Brown was maximally great when he played in the NFL. So what do we mean by maximally great? Is it then outside of the realm of nature, where it's the super sensible that we're trying to quantify, and then using mathematics to try to quantify it? I'm like, damn, it's just a reasonable argument. I don't need the math and people saying with the Y and the X. To me, that's I don't do that. And the guys I mess around with during my peer groups, we definitely are like, no, we're just gonna have the discussions about it. You know what I'm saying? And be open-minded. So then again, you know, my conversation is geared more towards Christians or Hebrew Israelites. So to me, Plantinga's paper, and I did read all 15 pages, and I wasn't going to make a choice at the end of the paper between what you say, soft atheism and agnosticism. No, I didn't see that at all. You're just dismissing evil, and you're painting the picture the way you want to paint it to give me a choice of what you think. And I'm thinking that this guy is pretty sophomoric in his logic. His logic is flawed in several arenas. And, you know, I'm just an outsider, you know, looking in. And I'm like, no, this guy right here, I wouldn't agree with what he said and what he wrote. I'm not convinced. I'm saying neither either. Put my hands up like, nope. I'm laying evil in God's lap for everybody. I'm putting it right on him. You the man.
45 seconds.
you're the creator and the God, so I got to blame it on you and say, well, then you're not as good a creator as we think you are. You have flaws just like we do. Like any creator on this planet doesn't get things right. He must have lost control of the creation, and it spiraled out of control because we in some bad shit right now, and there's really no way around it. We just got to deal with it. That's pretty fucked up. If you're God, teach me. I'm not available to be taught any goddamn thing that way. Something external to myself. Wow. Or for testing. I'm not available for testing. I didn't have shit to do with that stuff, man. I'm just saying it's misguided in the first place. And I ain't gonna quote verses either like that. We're just having a discussion. And there's no emotion to evil. It exists. It's axiomatic.
Ty, wrap it up.
Woo! Hey, DJ Sean bringing that heat, I see, man. So, hey, that's pretty electrifying today. Evil exists, huh? So let's go like this, man. James, what you got for the brother? You got 5 minutes, man. Let me know when you ready, man.
All right, I'm ready. So, what I will say is, I do believe in what is called a maximally great being, and he wanted to kind of, spell that out. It just means like in any type of attribute one can have, he has it to its maximal. Like for instance, think about in a video game, right? In a video game, most video games, you only can put the creative player up to 99, right? But God actually has it up to 100, right? So that's what it's kind of saying. So any attribute like knowledge, right? So that's how you get omnipotence, right? All knowing because he knows all true things, right? Uh, or like for instance, love, like well, I guess it'll kind of spill into the other things he was talking about. Like he's maximally loving, right? To the highest extent that you can possibly have love, God has it, right? And one thing about if you love something is you give it freedom of the will, right? You don't control it like a robot. You can't love a robot. That's an object, right? You just control it. But you love things because love is a reciprocal type thing, right? So love has to be given and received both ways. You only can do that freely. You can't force that love. So, and when you give humans free will, they can choose to do good or bad, no matter what mythos you go into. At least most of them that I've read, all of them deal with some type of God creating man and putting him in, whether it's a garden, whether it's someplace for him to work, whether it's anything like that. God creates man and puts him there into that location, right? God is grooming man, showing man how to be, and then man, due to the free will that he has, because God is maximally loving, he must give you the freedom to choose. His free will, he chooses to do other than what God has told man to do, or the creator. Let's say creator, because he says, I don't like to get barred down in semantics, but I can understand if he may have all types of reasons why he do that. So I'm going to go ahead and respect it and just use creator. So the creator, gave man, put him in an area, kind of gave him rules to life. Man decides to break those rules. And so he kicks him out of paradise. And now man has to deal with the consequences of his actions. Love doesn't remove consequences for your actions. Love doesn't remove the choice, right? If you're a father and you really love your son and he makes a mistake, you discipline him for that. Why? Because you love him and you don't want him to do it again. If you don't discipline him, it's more likely he does it again, right? Whether that discipline's a talk or whooping, whatever you need to do, you make sure you do it because you don't want your son to go down the wrong road or start making the wrong choices, right? So God left man to, or the creator left man to the consequences of him breaking the creator's rules within that paradise that he had for him, or farm, work field, whatever you want to see it as. So yeah, that kind of deals with that. Another thing he brought up was kind of like an earthquake. An earthquake is just, the mechanisms of the earth and the way the earth works. I don't see why it would have to be any special kind of way. Most peoples, especially in ancient times, they had so many mythos that dealt with things that they would be well aware if a tsunami was coming. Like they had mythos about when the sea disappears and goes in, that is going to come back and be as high as mountains. That's mythos in many places across the world. Now they have their different reasons for why it's happened. They may say because the creators or their little gods or whatever made it happen, but they all have mythos surrounding these natural events in order for man to save themselves from these types of events. So it's really a condition of the modern world, which even in modern times we know, but a lot of superstitions have been swept to the wayside, and a lot of buildings have been built in ways along these coastlines to be permanent, to where people think that this ain't an issue no more. We've solved that, but nature's still gonna be nature. I don't really understand the gripe with nature. I don't understand that one. But as far as
45 seconds, Giles.
all right, as far as human evil is concerned, yeah, God is maximally loving, so he gives humans the freedom to make choices. And through your choices, you can choose whether to do what is good or what is bad. I don't think we can throw that up at God's feet. Just like if you've told your child what's good, what's bad, you can't be around your child 24/7. You can't watch him 24/7. You got work. You got to go to work. You got things you got to do. If you're a creator, you got creating to do. You can't be just watching over his back all day, right? So you give him rules and regulations. He break the rules and regulations. There's consequences for it already built in to your creation for that, because you gave him free will. So you have to give him rules and regulations once you give him free will.
Time. Wrap it up on land.
I'll just say that's why most different cultures say have some type of law that they get that they see as divine.
Ooh. Hey, man. James hitting it back with the fire, man. Hey, electrify, man.
Hey, hold on, Craige. Hold on before you go into it. James, do you have a question for Brother DJ Seanski opening statement and premise? So he could expound for 3 minutes.
Well, I guess I'll just ask, like, what makes him think that God must control us like a puppeteer? Because that seemed to be, within his premise, God controlling. Like he has to control us like a puppeteer, and not allow us to have free will and choose to do what's right and wrong on our own.
You get the question, DJ Seanski?
Yeah. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. And ancient people then, for what was going around, so the old philosophers use earthquakes and natural disasters as a part of evil. That's the only reason I brought it up that way. So I know what you're saying. But the ancient people, especially the Bible, when it gets to the Bible, it's on a whole nother level. They blame themselves for what was happening naturally that was way worse than what we've ever been through. Tsunamis, earthquakes, tornadoes. It was way worse back then. Way worse. They blamed themselves for that. Like, we did something wrong because this God gave us some rules and instructions on what to do, especially coming from the biblical side. But other cultures said the same thing. We did something wrong to get smacked in the mouth by nature, like smacked hard. That's the way they were thinking. I mean, I can go into other authors. Julian Jaynes, he wrote the Bicameral Mind and the Origins of Consciousness. And I've talked about this book for years. People went through these catastrophes in ancient times that were far worse than what we went through. And they've suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. As human beings are coming into self-awareness, post-traumatic stress disorder right from the gate, and schizophrenia right from the gates running rampant on the planet. People, as the monumental cultures are rising, so do these religions. And what do? They start having human and animal sacrifices. Damn, that's pretty bad. All across the world, everybody's doing it. And some cultures are blaming themselves. We did something wrong to deserve this, and don't have no scientific method, have no idea what's going on with their natural environment. Mythology is very confusing, but we feel that in the peer groups I'm in, that we have a firm foot on it, and nobody ever even considered that what they're talking about, even in the Holy Scriptures or other cultures, is actually pretty simple. The orbits of the planets changed, guys, and human beings had no fucking idea what was happening, and it caused the greatest calamities and extinction events ever on the planet. And they have no fucking idea what it was, except God did it to us. That's where I'm coming from. But a lot of people don't even research this shit or even know what they're talking about. So I'm saying again, since I know the Old Testament is misguided mythology to the hundredth,
45 seconds. Sure, see.
it's just it's the ancient people don't really get it. They don't get it. But I'm not dismissing really at this point anything or saying that again I'm upset at evil. I'm saying if people believe in there is this omnipotent being, etc., then we have to account for evil or natural disasters, and we're victims of it. Why is that? If you God, damn, you God, why you put us in this shit? To teach you.
Ty.
All right, hope I answered it though.
Hey, Craig, there you go, Craig. You look like you got something to say, man.
Okay, well, check this out. One thing I want to kind of make also for that. Shout out to DMG. You know what I'm saying? The elusive DMG. Shout out to the elusive DMG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to DMG. We can't wait till your return, brother.
Yeah.
So you need to come back, man. Come back.
I thought we were gonna hook up. I thought we were boys, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said nah, fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Fuck him and his jerseys. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, getting back to it, right? What I wanted to say is I understand DJ Seanski's point. He's basically saying, why would this God say and do and put us into evil situations, basically? And one thing I would like to hear, and the question I would like to ask James is, why would this God, from DJ Sean's standpoint, put us through these situations if he loves us so much? You know, I guess that's the golden question that everyone loves to ask. You know? But the floor is yours, Brother James. Got Chief.
All right, cool. Let me see how I can do this. All right, I know your question. I wrote it down, so I'm gonna come back to it towards the end and finish it up with your question.
Right.
So I just want to address like
2 minutes though. 3 minutes, Giants can say it. 3 minutes.
All right, and I guess my second point, I'll kind of address your question too. He kind of diagnosed early people with PTSD and other psychiatric conditions. I don't see how there was any psychologist there to diagnose these people to know this is what they were going through or anything like that. I think that's a pure assumption. Academics speculate just like regular human beings do. A lot of this when we're dealing with the evolution of the mind and stuff like that, a lot of it is speculative. So they're speculating how this could have been, the possibilities, and different things like that. But we have no idea how, early man was kind of geared and stuff like that to say that he just did this as a reaction to evolving in a brutal world. The other thing I'll say, he was talking about like the natural world. Well, I believe that, like a many ancient classical theists do, that God brought things into being, right? He doesn't have to necessarily at every moment hold the world into being. Like he created it. Is either he thought it into being or he built the world in some type of way, right? He was the architect of the world in some type of way, which means that the world has its own built-in things that happen in reaction to. So a lot of ancient people looked at it like, okay, when we do evil, it accumulates and then the world reacts to it, right? And that's because of God, right? For moral reasons. But someone like me looks at it like, hey, well, it's just built into the system, right? Like a video game, like Sims. It's built into the system that things are gonna happen, except in this system that they're saying, hey, these things are happening for moral reasons. A lot of these things are, just taking ancient events that actually happened and giving a moral reason to give a foundation a moral foundation to the community, a moral ethic foundation to that community. I have no issue with seeing it like that. Me myself personally, when we deal with like the flood in the Bible, I think they're just talking about the last ice age, and we can see the migrations of the human families into the different regions they talk about, going back to 3 major ancestral nodes. You can see it in genetics, right? So it's just talking about that, and just using these eponymous ancestors, giving them names, and using them to kind of encapsulate these people groups migrating into these different areas and stuff like that. So I think that in all these mythos in the ancient world, they're just based around real, true events that happen, but they're just encapsulating them with
30
moral things.
seconds, Josh.
Yeah, they encapsulate them with their morality, and they kind of have a built-in assumption. I can say, if you're looking in their text, to like, it's just the way it is. Like, if you do this, the system will do this in reaction to it. Of course, they don't say system, but I'm using modern terms. I yield.
All righty, all righty.
Man, oh man, oh man. So DJ, does that give you a better understanding of where James was coming from? Does it give clarity? Do you have any disagreements? What do you have, Chief?
Just as a rebuttal, then, because I just wrote it down. There's no assumptions about the past. I'm not. Julian James is not making an assumption. People are having full-on conversations with the Lord of the Bible, Ishtar, Ra's talking, Horus, and all them characters are speaking and shit. And it's like, whoa, all right. My take on mythology is that they're stylized interpretations of actual events. And ancient peoples just didn't know what was really occurring in like you said, the last ice age. They didn't know what was occurring in their natural environment. So Dr. Immanuel Velikovsky nailed it. And though it's in 1950, when he came out with his best-selling book, Worlds in Collision, he slammed evolutionists. He slammed science at the time because he's a psychologist. He just want to know why people are basically evil then. Why are people evil? What is wrong with us? And he was like, well, pretty much the evidence I have to show you is the orbits of the planets change, guys. And scientists went like, fuck, hell no, it ain't go down like that. And he was like, well, sure it did. I'm reading all the ancient literature, and I have the evidence to support it. And just 2 key pieces of evidence were there were no 365 days calendars until like the 7th century BCE. There were only 360-day calendars. And the scholars said, well, there's intercalary days. They added on for the 5 extra days at the end. But that's an assumption. You have a 360-day fucking calendar. There's 360 days. Now we have 365. At the time, there's a Bronze Age collapse. So him looking at the literature was like, that's just one aspect. You have 5 extra days now, and there's catastrophe associated with it. Another big, just key piece of evidence was the Deacon astronomical ceiling in Egypt. And I didn't know this, and I looked at it. I was like, well, goddamn. He looked at the ceiling and was like, Sirius, Orion is in the wrong position. Orion is west of Sirius, and it's moving eastward when it's really westward of Sirius. It's moving east to west, but it's moving west to east.
45 seconds.
It's moving west to east. It's in the wrong position. It's moving backwards. So the scholars were like, well, no, there was a scribal error on the ceiling, and then they're like, no, there's scribal errors, and they corrected them. And they said the sun rose twice in the west. The orbits of the planets change, y'all, and you're just looking right past the shit. Now, I'm just bringing it up because if you're not even seeing that, you won't even know how the people, if there's catastrophes and calamities associated with the orbital changes with the planets. I never heard that before and was like, well, what the fuck? Then, yeah, the people back in the day, ancient people got it totally wrong. They're wrong as fuck. And we're victims now of them being wrong. We're victims like years and centuries later and millennia later, like, what the fuck? This is what it was all about, but it caused so much of a stir. The academic world was like, oh, hell no, we don't want to do this. Because now you're infringing on religion and you're infringing on science at the same time.
Ty. Hold on, DJ Craig, before you go in, but DJ Seanski, do you have a question for Giant Cassel? But let Craig go out and do his time. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. I was gonna ask if DJ Seanski had a question for the argument King James Cassel. And then after that, what I was gonna do, I was gonna ask DJ Seanski a question myself.
Yeah. So I guess my question would be still, how do we account for evil being, whether it be natural or human beings behaving the way we behave, and either disannulling it and saying, well, it's part of God's plan, possibly, or not? How do we account for it? If God is magnificent, maximally great, whatever you want to call it, how do we still account for it? How do we get around it? What do we do? You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of a broad question, but how do we really account for it and put it in the clear context? That's pretty much the question.
You understand, Charles?
Yeah. I think he's kind of asking me just to account for natural and human evil. Like how am I going to account for it?
Yeah.
Natural evil, I think it kind of goes back into what I was just saying a second ago. It's kind of built into the system, right? So like let's say, at least that's how ancient people see it, and me, when I think of creator, it makes most sense to me, or at least I believe that's how the ancient people saw it. That it's kind of just built into the system. Once man goes into so much error, so much evil, or something like that, and I heard these things happen. Or it could be just, you got to remember, a lot of this stuff is kept as oral traditions, right? And people want to remember these events, but they didn't have writing at the time, or they weren't writing things down like that. They were just telling it orally, and when you tell it orally, you tend to anthropomorphize things. Like, so you give wind a name and stuff. Why? Because these stories are easier to remember this way, right? But you also mentally and subconsciously you get the understanding of what they're trying to convey. Hey, yeah, this is a event that happened in our history, right? This, right, and we don't want to forget this event. What's the best way to memorialize this event? We got to wrap it up in our mythos. We got to give a reason to the event. That way, then it can carry on throughout the generations, right? And these people wholeheartedly believed that these events took place because humanity went wrong. So the last ice age came about to wipe out humanity and other archaic types of humans because of the evils that God or the gods saw was going on. And that is, that's the best way to pass on oral things that, like I said, when we don't have writing, you got to make it a story, make it a compelling story, a story that's hard to forget. You got to have dance to go with the story, festivals that go with the story, and that's the way ancient cultures did things. We know this because we can go look in Africa right now, and they got ancient traditions of their migrations that now these scholars are going back, looking at these traditions, looking in the archaeological record, and being like, hold up, these people right. They didn't originally come from here. They do come from somewhere else. Yeah, they did migrate from here. And the whole time they was telling us, oh, this ain't nothing but just mythology and mythos. Don't pay no attention to it. They just making up stories. But no, these stories are about real historical events. It's just they wrap it up in a mythos, so it's easy for them to
45 seconds,
preserve their
Charles.
culture. And I mean, we even do that today. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about like somebody winning a race, man, you should have seen him, man. He flew, right? Now, if someone comes on 200-300 years from now, and the world, let's say the world apocalypse happened, and they read he flew, do you think they're gonna be thinking like, hey, he was actually flying in a plane, like flying through the air like Superman? They may. And be like, oh man, they talk about ancient people that can fly. They said this horse has wings. That just means the horse quick, the horse real fast. But now they got modern people thinking that they believe in Pegasus with real wings and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, I mean, they had mythos with flying horses. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like a lot of times things are just being said in a poetic way, so people can easily remember them.
Ty, wrap it up.
Yeah, nice. But yo, check it out. Before I get to my question, James, do you got a question for DJ Sean?
Uh, I just I just don't see where he sees the contradiction in it being things being mythologized, kind of wrapped up in their morality. But actually, I think we're kind of agreeing on that. But they are based on real, actual events. I think we both can kind of agree on that. So I'm kind of not understanding how he can't understand, natural evil from the theistic standpoint, even if you don't believe that, God is pulling the strings himself, even if he built the world to naturally have earthquakes and different things like that just for it to function properly, then we should understand that that's just part of the natural world. I don't see how that's considered any evil that God is responsible for. So can you explain to me why it is God's responsibilities?
All right, you got it, DJ Seanski.
Yeah, so I hate to use the term. We're not in an Edenic environment. The golden era Greek mythology speaks of this Edenic environment. The Bible talks of Edom, like we've said and you mentioned before, and the planet being in a different environmental state at the time. And now it's gone. It's gone. It don't exist no more. And because it doesn't exist anymore, we're blaming ourselves, man. We're victims of the universe or the solar system, natural disasters, and our own evil ourselves. Like, damn. So that's why I like to take God out the middle of it. He's not maximally great. A creator can have flaws. And I use examples of how we create things and it's not ever really right. But well, we're humans and stuff. People say we're human beings, whatever. Look, man, if God then created us and created our intellect, he can't violate my intellect. I always say that. God can't violate my intellect. I don't have a pea brain. Fuck that. But us as creators on this planet don't get things right all the time either. I just told somebody a story about a racer named Les Leggett. He just died. Bonneville racer. And one of my mentors knew him and they went to visit him in the summertime. He had a 53 Studebaker and he broke the land speed record with a stock body, 335 miles an hour. He blew a couple fucking engines up, almost fucked his son up and all that shit. But he's an excellent designer. Excellent. But he didn't get it perfect. Can we admit to ourselves that maybe our definition of God is wrong? And if there's a creator or a creative agency, they just ain't perfect. Or if it's a he, isn't perfect. And it's like back in the pantheism where God manifested himself into the universe. That's why there's no external agency interacting with you. We just kind of hear. So whether we want to gloss over evil or not, we as human beings have to sit down and think and say, well, what the fuck now, man? Damn, whether we believe in a God, we don't believe in a God, we're an atheist or a deist. What the fuck do we do? Because we're victims of it, man. So then a God, to me, there's nobody in the universe worthy of that title, period. Nobody's worthy of it. It's a man-made concept and idea to begin with. It's us that came up with the concept of the monotheistic one God. Damn. Well, this is a bad concept. This concept is fucked up. And I can admit, these people here have a fucked up concept. I'm because to say that their concept is wrong. It's misguided based on what happened to them, that they're the victims and they did something wrong to deserve it. I wasn't there. I wasn't around. I'm born into this world. It's indifferent. It's violent. We'll call it evil. I didn't choose my race. I didn't choose my gender, but I'm here. It ain't got shit to do with me. I ain't have nothing to do with this, man.
30 seconds, DJ Seanski.
The role of victimhood. So what I'm doing and what some of my peers are doing, we're trying to rethink our whole position and our entire belief. Is that wrong in the first place? But we're not afraid to say we're going to go where the evidence leads us and we're going to be intellectually responsible and talk about it and just don't care what people think. Well, there's a consequence. You're going to go to hell now. You turned your back against God. Oh, my goodness. Nah, man. Hell no. I'm an independent thinker, and I would think that I'm a pretty damn good researcher. So I want to talk about this stuff with peers, and I think we're having a good talk. But I'm looking at it completely different than most people. They ain't afraid to challenge the whole idea because we're just running around here sinking deeper into the shithole and explaining.
Time, laying their play.
It's very interesting. Very interesting. Sinking deeper into the shithole. So check this out, right? I don't know. It's just like you guys are making me think a little bit, right? Because I don't know if you guys would pretty much think about it. Like, hey, if y'all know the Toronto Raptors, right? People will probably depict Raptor like 1,000 years ago being gold, holding a basketball with the number 19 saying we are the North on it. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it like this, right? This is a question for both of you. I would really love to ask you this question, right? DJ Seanski, you basically said that the planets aligned, the environment was different, right? So basically, at the end of the day, right, you're basically trying to say that the gods back then made humanity do evil according to their will. Is that what you're pretty much trying to say, or do I have that wrong?
Well, they deified the conditions they were in, humanized them, and were victims of it. So their concept of God is wrong. I don't give a fuck if it's Egypt, Mesopotamia, Hebrews, the Greeks. They had no scientific method. So from my paradigm and where I'm sitting, their whole concept of God and deities is wrong anyway, and it's misguided. I said before, the evidence suggests that the solar system was chaotic at the time as human beings were coming into self-awareness, which a lot of people don't even know about. I do, so I include that in what I talk about. Maybe some people will want to research it. You know what I'm saying? At that point,
right.
I considered it. So I'm saying that, yes, we got bumped on our fucking heads, and we came up with these ideas as victims of nature. Like, shit, we're victims of nature, but then God did it to us because we were bad? Damn.
So you're just talking about natural phenomenons going on, and because of the phenomenons, human beings interpret that as God and divine punishment.
Yeah, divine powers, divine punishment, supernatural events, occurrences, and that is now in modern times, since we have the science to back it. I've known for a long time now that that's misguided thinking, and it's not their fault because they're victims of it. They're the ones that fucked it up. They didn't have the right tools at the time. Right. And now for people to even look at it or even consider it is even harder to do. Like, damn, it's even hard to get people to look at this stuff. They're like, oh, no, man. It's either science or theology. And I'm saying both of those kind of cancel each other out. We're on the wrong path and victimized by nature and conceptualized, and we're looking at it the wrong way. And maybe we need to look at it a different way and rebuild our entire belief system. Completely from the ground up.
Okay, so we're talking about extreme cultist nature worshipers gone bad, basically, in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
I get you. So
and then the Hebrew culture becomes, I'm gonna watch how I say it. Then that culture with the Leningrad Codex and the Aleppo Codex, which are the oldest Old Testament manuscripts we have, don't fool yourselves, and they're not that old. They totally got it wrong. Judeo-Christianity. It's like, whoa, now it's a coping mechanism for our conditions on the planet. It's like a feel-good pill. Here, take this. It's like a perk.
Right.
Hey, hold on, Craige. So you said, should we be looking at these ancient texts? You're trying to say that we should be having these, looking back in the past like that because they got it wrong.
They got it wrong, and we're the ones in denial about it because this stuff isn't new. It's been around, and it's been overshadowed by like just theology in itself and evolutionary science. And people have like shied away from this end of it. Like, no, that's fucked up. And it's like, no, it is fucked up. It's ugly. It's real ugly. But we got to accept it. If we don't accept it, then we're not going to be able to frame God correctly in the first place. So creator, like I said earlier, is a better argument because that's somebody responsible for the design and production of something, and you're not putting as much on their back. I mean, real quick, then I had a talk with Mutawal, and I said I have to put it into a movie form. The creators lost control of the creation. Obviously, they ain't have it all the way right because we're in it. So they couldn't be perfect, or a creator couldn't be perfect to begin with. Maybe we have to look at it that way and accept it and move forward from it if we're going to heal from it and to be in unity. When human beings, especially black people, we definitely ain't in unity about shit.
Okay. Let's go to James Cassel, Craige.
Okay, so check this out, James. So basically, right, how DJ Seanski is pretty much putting it down, you know what I'm saying? These are early nature worshipers, right? If they see a volcano or falling stars or whatever, end of the world, the gods mad at me, and pretty much how nature is reacting. They react into an archaic, frenzy-like mode, going crazy, and basically representing the chaos of what's going on with a natural phenomenon, right? So how would you pretty much in a lot of ways break that down? Because from what I see, right, I say that's choice, that's humans choosing to do evil. But what do you see from that, Chief?
Well, like I said, well, yeah, there you go, there you go.
Oh, it fell out. Right.
He came out, he fell off.
Yeah, he fell off.
But yeah, man. It's been a good event so far, man. Let me let y'all back in. It's been a good event so far, man. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me unmute my mic, man. My bad.
All right, go
But
ahead.
y'all allow me, man.
Repeat the question, Craige.
I've been keeping notes. I'll be quick with it. I just want to hit a couple things that everybody is kind of going over.
Y'all been notes.
Yeah, that's a note-taking fools.
Yeah, you know me, man. I gotta keep track of what's going on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I say, just because the creation has flaws doesn't mean the creator has flaws, right? I believe in the classical concept of a creator, one that doesn't is pretty much is an unembodied mind, right? That lives outside of time and space, right? So he has no parts to have flaws. You see what I'm saying? So the creation though is material, and is impossible for material things to be perfect, or else they'll be indestructible, and unable to change in any way, shape, or form. But they're within time, so they have to change. So, comparing looking at the creator based on the creation and trying to see the personality of a creator is kind of flawed. That's kind of like looking at a Ford truck and trying to figure out what Henry Ford was like as a person. Like you can't do anything but deconstruct what he's built there. It tells you nothing about who he was as a person, so that doesn't even follow. He said something that was real profound. I think he said, he was like, God don't control my mind, or something to that effect. And I think that was profound because yeah, you're right. God gave you, or the Creator, my bad, gave you free will. You're free to do what's right or do what's wrong. And that's why we have human evil in the world, because you're free and no one can control your mind. And then let's see. Okay. And then you were talking about, pretty much, archaic peoples, how they saw catastrophes in the world, turned them into gods, so on and so forth. I think most modern theists, outside of maybe some Hindus, or most people who follow most major theologies out there, don't mostly fall back on an abstract type God that is outside the realm of reality, that may come into the physical world at times to do things, but for the most part is outside of time and space. So yeah, I would agree that these people had a bad concept of God, but I don't think that the creator. I don't think that the creator was ever coming down and walking human beings by their hand and doing things when they were coming up with these concepts. I think humans were just trying to make sense of the world they were in, and as time go on and they can understand more and more about the world, they kind of fine tune their concept of the creator of this world, to the point now where we have all this science and all this technology that we have now, and we've pretty much been able to reconstruct the physical world inside of computers that can perfectly simulate them. Then guess what? The entire universe looks like a simulation now at this point. Why? Because that's how far our technology has taken us from studying the physical world to the point where we can perfectly simulate it, to the point where it's like, wait a minute, is reality itself a simulation? Because we can do it. Why can't something else do it? Why does according to a lot of scientists, why does the Big Bang look like, somebody pressed the on button onto like a computer game. Like if you were inside the computer, as far back as you can trace is when the computer came on. You can't trace anything before that. You wouldn't know about anything before that. But if you're outside the computer and you create it, you know everything, right? You know everything that goes on with it. You know everything you built into it. So yeah, it may be that if humanity goes into deep moral decay, that nature has a reaction to it. That's what the ancients thought. There may be some truth to that. We don't know enough about the world to start making assumptions about how human interaction may have an effect on the natural world. We have no idea about the all the vibrations and different uh, uh, wavelengths and different things like that this earth functions on, to know how human beings morality interacts with it. We've seen how when you like freeze water and yell obscenities into it versus when you speak nicely into it, or when you play rock and roll music versus when you play good music next to it. When you play the rock and roll music, you get all these broken crystals and different things like that. But when you play the good music, you get all these beautiful designs and different things like that within it. So I mean, like, we don't, like I said, if you can see it there, who knows what it does with the rest of this world. The ancients seem to think something has to do with it. All the way up into modern day, theologians think that our morality has an implication on our environment, our climate, and things like that. So we don't know that, but I can understand why someone may object. You know.
Phew. And so you yield, James?
Oh, let me say one last thing. Let me say one last thing. I don't think the ancient peoples, because I don't think they were so worried about understanding the world when these catastrophes were happening. I think they were more concerned about, okay, what are the signs that lead up to this catastrophe, and is it anything that we did that could have possibly contributed to this catastrophe taking place? I think that was their main concern, not trying to keep it like a modern day journalist or scientist would write something down.
Nice. Right.
All right. Go ahead, Craige.
So
I gotta
yeah, so check this out, right? RaXchet's doing his ratchet duties, man. You know what I'm saying? DJ Seanski, what you got for James Cassel? And hold up right quick. Let
you do a wardrobe change. That's what you're doing, man.
So hold up right quick. Let me get your time right quick. And you ready to go.
Yeah, so I took a couple notes.
No time. The time over with. We asked the question.
What I said was God can't violate my intellect. We all have an intellect. That's what separates humans from any other animals on the planet. So if we want to believe there's a God, that God himself can't violate my fucking intellect. Hell no. Don't work that way. Because this is programmed into us anyway, but that's a whole nother argument that I don't want to really get into right now. We give the ancient people way too much credit on all these talks and calls we do, because that's what we got to go by. We give them way too much credit, especially radical believers either way. Way too much credit, whether they be in the Kemet, they got all the answers, the Israelites got all the answers, and we know Christianity tries to give us the answers, but we give them way too much credit. They're definitely not as advanced as we are. They don't have as many tools around them as them at the time that we do right now. Time, you mentioned time. This is interesting because I call him a mentor, but he calls me his peer from the Thunderbolts Project. My man, Michael Armstrong, publisher, scientist, and natural philosopher, did a great video on what is time. And we talked about it, and I'm like, time is an increment of measurement between events. And he was like, yeah, it's a sequence of events, right? And I'm like, yeah. So he did a great video, like 100,000 views or so. He's in his 80s now. You know what I'm saying? But it's really a concept that we take way too far out there. Does time exist in a universe, or does the universe exist within time? Damn. Time is an increment of measurement in the sequence of events. That's all it is. You can't go backwards in the time. There's no directional arrows. So now we may imply that God lives outside of our natural universe and nature itself. Like, damn, time and space is another whole sticky subject, and that's natural philosophy of science. Sticky as fuck. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty easy, Michael. You know, it's a sequence of events. It is. It's pretty cut and dried. And scientists confuse it, time and space, and then you get into quantum theory and Einstein, and it's like, stop, man. It's real basic. Keep to the fundamentals, man. People taking it way too far. So we don't legalistically raise our children with laws. That's legalistic stuff. We raise our kids with principles. Some of us, we may be Christians or whatever, and we say it's the law of God says this. We raise them with principles. So I want to know, then my question would be, from the idea or concept of the maximally great God, biblically, God would have gave us laws and put his foot down. But I don't see this God giving us a plan, purpose, principles, and values. And if the plan is to worship him, that's a whole nother rabbit hole, because worship and fear is like a non sequitur within itself. They're like opposites. And I used to use, and I have it documented also on the website, I used to use this in the back chat all the time. This is for conversation. Worship and fear are opposites. Worship is giving the reverence or acknowledgement to a deity or entity, if you will, that gives you and provides you the sustenance and enhancement of life. And fear is the exact opposite. So that's the acknowledgement or reverence to an entity or deity that can diminish or end your life. So fear me to worship me. Whoa, man. That's like a whole, but then it plays back into evil again. I've been talking about this for years with all these niggas, man. It plays right back into it. Like, that's like a natural non sequitur. So then the question becomes, you know, how, if we're going to try to quantify God with equations and geometry like the philosophers do, fine. It still has to do with evil, fear, and worship. I just took it out a step further. Fear and worship. Like, I used to use examples in the hood. I'm from Pittsburgh, and my next door neighbor was a young brother. I was like 18. He was in his 20s. He was one of the most notorious drug dealers in the city. Paid cash for his house and stuff. They had a gang. He had bodies and shit. He my neighbor, but I ain't fucking with him like that. You know what I'm trying to say? This shit is serious, man. Like, so I can't worship anybody that I have fear of that could interdimension my life, depending on how I take it with him. So we give God a pass again.
DJ Seanski.
Cool, but like, damn. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you said God is worship. What you say? Fear.
Yeah.
And worship.
Yeah, because we're talking about evil, and then fear and worship come into play, and they're like, it's like a natural non sequitur. It doesn't follow a logical path. They're opposites and incompatible. Fear me, be afraid of me because I'll fuck you up. Worship me because I can do that to you. Damn. Whose concept is?
So hold on. Do you think you think humans are using God as a fear tactic?
Oh, I would say overall there has to be an agenda to it. Hell, it's recently written literature. It's European aristocratic literature, for real. That's not bullshit. It's what it is, man. Look where we are and where it came from and how recent it really fucking is, man. No, you ain't got to go back into BCE times and talk all that shit. This shit is compiled recently, man, from fragments of shit. Bart Ehrman is one of my homies, man. Listen, I have full access to these scholars, and he broke this shit down. And he's a theologian. Like, this New Testament's come from copies and copies and copies and copies. And then my question is, well, hell, how you come up with the Aleppo Codex and Leningrad Codex orally? You can't show written language of Hebrew from 1000 AD, essentially, going backwards to when there was no vowel points in the Dead Sea Scrolls to having vowel points more than 1,000 years later. And pow, you're going rendering back 2,500 years to Exodus in detail?
Okay, Seanski. Okay, calm down. Craige. You got that, man. You got that right.
Put on my lips like.
I mean, it's shocking, man. He ready to pull up the damn website. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying. I'm just talking. You know, and Cassel. I mean, it's cool because I only called him out because I told you, Craige. I was like, no, Cassel can't check me like that. But Cassel, cool. We ain't really. We exchanged back in the 7 branch, but Cassel, cool. He's coming, exchanges on Facebook. He was just trying to talk shit. So I was like, no, nigga, we're gonna talk about it, but this is a great conversation. I'm just saying, I'm an OG. I've been around and I think different and am responsible in the way I think. And I just bring up the questions, man. They're just questions for all of us, man. It's not me.
So check this out. I know you on the road, DJ Seanski. I hate, but I gotta ask this for the both of you, and I gotta let James go first, right? So James, you answered, then DJ Seanski, you have your spiel. Now, this great God, right? Check it out, right? People say this God is evil, right? RaXchet, Craige, and me have this argument all the time. RaXchet said that a lot of people just go around killing folks just for the hell of it because they said God told them to do it, right? Now, at the end of the day, right, people do great things because God told them to do it also, and it's beneficially good, right? Now, let's just go back to what DJ Seanski mentioned when the earth was going through earthquakes, floods, famine, all type of tornadoes, hurricanes, cyclones, water sprouts, you name it, right? And they took that behavior and said, the weather's messed up, God is mad, we finna fuck some shit up, we finna go crazy right here, right now. So I asked the two of you this, right? And I would like for you to explain, do you feel at the end of the day that this great God that we all know and loathe and love, right, would use fear in order for us to perceive evil, to seek him as the only beneficial good so we can be devotedly loyal to him? So James, you first, Chief.
All right, man. I want to, but I'm gonna answer your question, bro.
Right.
I would say that. I mean, I won't act like I know the mind of this creator. I don't want to sit here and act like I do.
Right.
But it's completely possible that that because God gives us free wills, to where He doesn't control our intellect or anything to that degree. We have to then, therefore, there has to be mechanisms for dealing with that and stuff. So I don't think that we can sit down and try to refer to God as evil or creating evil, because again, He gave humanity the freedom to choose, and if we choose not to do good, then that's what we choose to do. Earlier he spoke on how the creator created us and put us in this Edenic place, and in most of those traditions, while Adam, Alapa, whoever you want to call out, whoever this man was that was there, God was actually teaching him things while he was there. That was the whole point of it. He was teaching them how to deal with the land, or in some of them, humans were just created to work. That was all they were created for. So how to work, and different things like that. So they was teaching them that. And if you allow me, man, I'm gonna be quick with it. I'll get through them quick, bro.
Go ahead, Chief. Got it.
When I was speaking on God and him being outside of time, I'm talking about before. Well, there's no such thing as before, but he's son's time pre-creation, right? It's when, because he's correct when he said what time is pretty much a measurement of events taking place. He's correct. So the moment in which God, the creator, decides to create, that was the first moment of time. That's why we say he's outside of that, because before that there was no moments, there was no change or anything like that, because he's supposed to be an unembodied mind that does not change, right? So he has to, or it has to do something in order for time to begin, in order for an event to happen. So, and that something was create, because he's a creator. That's what they do. They create things. So he created the universe, and that was the first moment of time. That's why the scientists say time, matter, and space all come into being at the same time, or at the same moment. And then we modernly worship different than the ancient people, right? Right. So with the ancients, every action they did was to worship. The way they did their crops was worship. The way they even to the way they had sex was a form of worshiping the creator. So I don't really think that it's fair to kind of like compare the two. And there's not only fear ain't only a negative thing, right? There's healthy forms of fear, right? Like if I do something wrong, I'm gonna be scared my daddy gonna whoop my ass, right? I'm fear my daddy at that point. That's not necessarily a negative thing. It's not like he's just out to just get me, right? I actually did something that is worthy of correction, and I fear that correction.
Right.
So and I'll just say I get where he comes from, but it's kind of hard sometimes the way he just I guess in his mind he can't see God and creator being the different words for the exact same thing,
Right.
Yeah, and that kind of throws me off.
I believe DJ Seanski is pretty much going off of the fact that a God is somewhat in control of things, right? And let's think about Frankenstein, for example. I don't know if you guys look at that. Everybody know I'm a super big nerd when it comes down to it. Frankenstein's monster, he lost control of his creation. You see what I'm saying? He was a creator that lost control of his creation. You see what I'm saying? And it ran rampant. You see what I'm saying? These so-called gods have complete and utter control. You see what I'm saying? Things that they're pretty much things that their tools or creations don't have, even of their own lives sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's a saying, right? You think yourself that close to a god, but you can't even control your own heartbeat. You see what I'm saying? Pretty dope saying at the end of the day, right? But DJ Seanski, what do you got for the question that I have, Chief?
Repeat it again, because I was taking in what he was saying, taking it in, because he gave a really good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Check this out, right? Do you feel at the end of the day, right, that this God that we love and loathe, right, is an individual that created evil in order for us to view him as the only source of good and benevolence in this world?
I would say no. That's still a false concept.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. It's not necessary. If something is good, it's good. That's it. You don't have to see the contrast of evil to put it in context. So I've separated God and creator and intelligent designer. So I put intelligent designer and creator in the same category, but God is saying, no, that's our problem because we're giving too much credit. It's the same thing as this. And I always put things in simple terms. Elon Musk is God then. He comes up with the idea, right? He got the bread. He has engineers design everything the fuck he wants. He don't touch shit. He don't touch a thing, man. And if something goes sour, it's then on the God ultimately, but the creators are flawed in themselves. So I've separated the two. To say that there's nobody worthy of the title God at all anyway. We're just taking it too far. Creator, intelligent designer leaves room for error. And that we're victims of the error for it to even exist.
Hey, Seanski, can I ask you a question? I don't mean to cut you, bro. Without evil, would you know good? Without good, would you know evil? I think they are duality to me because I can't see good produce the, you know what I'm saying, another good. You know what I'm saying? You got to distinguish the two.
I said because for us to put it in context, we don't need the contrast of good versus evil because it's pretty simple. We don't even have to be a part of evil to know it exists. That's the simple, easy shit. I just said it. Take a pacifier away from a baby. Take the bottle away or the food. It's easy. Like, oh shit, okay. I'm a direct part of it, but I know it ain't really the cool thing. It's pretty simple. You don't really need it. You know it exists, but you don't have to act on it that way or to have it to where in front of your face to where there's a choice between the two. Like, damn, so there's a choice between good and evil. We don't know where the evil came from because I'm putting it on God, if there is a God. I'm putting it on God, but if it's a natural outcome of the creation, he's responsible, putting it right back on God. We can't gloss it over. It's just pretty simple.
So you said that people automatically say God is good, right? Automatically, and evil, I guess, is some type of Satan or something.
Yeah, because damn, then we're gonna argue the existence of Satan. Then you're God. You don't let this shit happen, motherfucker. Damn, you're God. You're the magnificent. You are the man. What do you mean? Like, oh, the Satan comes into play, but I can use Satan the way I want to. When I feel like it, with Job especially, I can do what the fuck I want to do. Ha ha ha. The flex. Like, fuck that. You flexing on Job that way? I look at it and I'm kind of laughing like, come on, man. We're not questioning and challenging the whole thinking on the whole thing. Like, what the fuck? And I wasn't there. So if right now something like that, and I love Abdul, I'm gonna bring Abdul up as an example. He's a Christian. I'm not dissing him. Please, I hope he doesn't think that. But Abdul suffered through the wildfires. That's the Job story. He got his shit back. But I'm like, damn, nigga, you had good insurance, man. God ain't do shit, man. Come on, bruh. Your shit was tight to where when it fucking happened, you was able to come back from it. But if God did that to fucking Abdul, fuck that motherfucker. That's my nigga, man. Don't do that to him and his family.
Hey, the views and opinions of DJ Seanski, not of Craige and Craige Law Firm. So do not associate us with zealous, zealous person. So yeah,
how do you deserve that? You deserve that shit, and then you go, yes, God, fuck, man, you fucked me up, and I'm with you, man. You threw evil at me, and I didn't forsake you. After you did this to me, that's fucked up, man. I'm just talking like open now. That's pretty fucked up. How do we accept these things? Now, in my other peer groups, I told them, like, I can talk to y'all open like this. And the other peer groups, if you I support the Slim Reaper 100%. You know I do. Well, 99%. Okay. We get in certain circles, you pronounce a word wrong, nigga. That's a red flag. Get out of here. Who's this motherfucker here? But I can talk to y'all this way and just bring it out the way I'm bringing it out. How dare we think this way? Like, evil is good. Remember, was that Eddie Murphy? Good as evil. Evil. What movie was that? Come on, man. We laughed at that shit. But
all right, Craige, we got to get the. You know, Seanski can go. Brooklyn. You know, Seanski can go. We got to get back to Giant Cassel, man.
Giant, but I want to say this though. Even though we are not associated with the words that these individuals say, and when they bring up certain people's names, we're still gonna get blamed anyway. So, hey,
yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, cool. He cool. But I'm just saying he gonna blame us. But we said it, not you. At the end of the day,
wait.
That's my nigga.
Hold up, the great Gib T'Challa said. Vampire in Brooklyn.
That was the name of the movie.
Yeah. Like, come on, man.
I just said that, man. Y'all deaf.
You just said that. Okay, yeah, we deaf. We deaf, brother.
We deaf. We were feeling sorry for ourselves for us getting the backlash, bro. I apologize for that, Jang. But anyway, Captain Cassel, man. Captain Cassel, Lord Cassel of the Castle, man. First of his name. King of the Andals and the Seven Kingdoms, man. Game of Thrones. But what you got for this question, gotta ask you, man. Because, like, I'm noticing that a lot of individuals will basically say that, for one, right? This God, this creator, this designer, masterful architect at the end of the day, right? Created free will. But if he was so good, why would he create free will? I've seen this argument many times with Mudawa, DJ Seanski, demons like Reverend RaXchet Craige, who's going to hell.
Oh, man.
God, you know what I'm saying? I've seen many individuals had that, right? So what is your state on that, Chief?
Hey, say that one more time. One more time. I'm trying to make sure.
Yeah, diss me again, bro.
Okay, I'm going to diss you again. I'm going to diss you first. Okay, demons like Reverend RaXchet Craige, individuals like Mudawa, DJ Seanski, right? Emphasis on the demons like RaXchet Craige. Emphasis on the demons, right? They would pretty much say that if this God gave us free will, right? And this God was so-called ultimately good, right? why would he program evil us at the end of the day, right? Why would we need to do evil if we have a good God at the end of the day?
Well, I mean, I don't understand what he mean by need to do evil. I've never seen an evil act that was needed to take place, especially when we're talking about human beings. Most of the time, we call it evil because it was unnecessarily done,
Right.
for the most part. But I want to go to the heart of something that DJ Seanski was saying,
Oh, man.
Go ahead, go to
Bro.
it.
and he often talks about, like, and it goes back to what RaXchet Craige was saying too. He said he was kind of saying that evil ain't necessary for good, but how can you even say evil if you're not contrasting it to the way something ought to be, right? Because evil would be a deviation from the way something ought to be, right? So it has to be necessarily good for evil to exist. But the issue is evil cannot exist in and of itself, right? Um, Even when a person does something that is, let's say, evil necessarily, right? They're not just doing it for evil's sake for the most part, right? They're mainly doing it out of, sometimes maybe it's how they need to get by to get money, right? So somebody may steal food because they got to eat, right? Now it's wrong. Yeah, we can sit there and say it's wrong, but are you really, you know what I'm saying? Is it something that's wrong on a level of, hey, it's better for him to starve to death? Or is it just wrong as, okay, he broke the social rule of the day and something like that? So it's different levels and degrees to it, but the only way you can talk about evil is to contrast it to the good. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, somebody may like power, right? You can go about a good way of getting power. You can go about the wrong way of getting power, right? So you don't have to do anything evil, right? You don't have to. It don't exist in and of itself. It's even it's always in the pursuit of something that you can say the pursuit of that something is good, but they just went the wrong way about pursuing it, right? So that's kind of like the example of the guy stealing the thing. Like, eating ain't evil, but what was evil is the way he went about getting it done, right? So evil ain't something that gotta be done, but good can exist in and of itself. Evil doesn't have to have anything to do with it, and that is mainly why you can say God is good and nothing but good, because only something that is good can exist in and of itself. Evil depends on goodness to exist. It depends on a pursuit of something that is good to pursue, but you have to go about the wrong way of doing it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the contrast. That's why you can say, well, if God is eternal, he's just good, because evil can't be eternal. Evil is contingent, while good ain't contingent on anything.
Right,
It just is.
right. And another thing I would agree with, and I'm gonna roll with you on this, evil is also dependent on destroying, causing a disarray, on anything that is orderly, right? And from what I believe personally, God is order. You see what I'm saying? He has a systemat. Let me say the word right. Uh, Tinker.
Man, cut that out, bro.
Let me say it. Let me say it. Hey, shut up, demon. RaXchet. He has a he has system, has chemistry at the end of the day, right? Um, but this is the thing also with it. Now for you, DJ Seanski, right? Now, at the end of the day, right? And I'm going to roll with James.
God is order.
Hey man, you can't even control your own ratchet heart.
Man, you try to get over the technology right there. Go ahead, though.
Yeah. So rolling with DJ Seanski, man. I mean, with James Cassel, right? So DJ Seanski, right? So God is order, right? Order is good. Order is righteousness, right? So to you, right? what would be evil? Since James broke down what evil is, what's your interpretation, definition, or understanding of what evil is?
Well, again, it's a contrast. So I would say and there's a theological definition of it that we can easily Google, but I'm just going to say anything that is contrary to good that could cause harm or disruption in anything. Like I said, if you pinch somebody really, really hard, so primitive people, they pinch somebody really, really hard, you can see that that's not good. That person went, I don't need God to test me with the shit. God's using evil as a weapon then, something that is self-evident. Evil is self-evident, but he uses it as a weapon to prove himself worthy. You're God. You're God, though. It's there. Where did it come from? Well, God didn't have nothing to do with it. Again, as if it's a natural outcome of creation, then he's responsible for it. That's the simple argument. It's easy. We know how to prove evil exists. And I also included natural disasters and such. Who is responsible for it? Then if we want to go far left and say, well, Satan, well, damn, you're still God. Why do you have to use that? Don't give me the we're just children and babies and blah, 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 and we have to be taught things. You have to use evil God, extreme evil, not simple evil like spanking your kid or yelling at him and shit. Damn, we're going to go to all the way. I'm going to fuck your whole shit up. I'm going to fuck your whole shit up. Just fuck it all up. I'm God, though, but fuck it. I'm going to erase it and start over again. I'm going to do it that way. You're God. Don't try to sell me on that. That's a bad sell. I see that that's misguided thinking right from the gate because evil is self-evident. It's an axiom. I don't need God to test me with it. I'm not testable that way. But I wasn't there. Remember, I wasn't there back in the day. I wasn't there in the past. We have a contrast, and I said before, it's easy. You don't even you can test it yourself. Damn. It's pretty simple, but the ancient people obviously were bugged out because they are evil. Quick side note, because then my master teacher, Professor Gunnar Heinsohn, wrote a great book called The Creation of the Gods, where loud Darwinism does not explain away human sacrifice, one of the worst things possible on the planet. He got into chronology too and how that really works. We can't get around that and just say, well, the people are evil. That's not a fucking explanation, man. The people are just evil. Why are they doing this crazy, crazy shit? Crazy shit. Like, yo.
Could I ask you a question right quick,
Go
ahead. Things like you brought up hurricanes and tornadoes and things that natural catastrophes, right?
Yeah.
Do you consider these things to be evil?
Well, yeah, I said that because the philosophers use it that way. They lump it all together. So I'm going to lump it all together. Though we could talk about nature separately, I said we're still victims of nature, but we're going to tie it into evil because the modern philosophers tied it in. So I'm like, okay, I'll just tie it in that way. But yes, I know what you're saying, Craige.
Hey, so do hermits make I guess if they don't know the reasons, right, why these things happen, do they make up a supernatural being like a creator or a God punishing them?
That's what I was saying all along. They did that. I didn't do that. Now we're in the era we can say, look at these motherfuckers here with enough supporting evidence to say, yeah, these people didn't get it right, man. They got it wrong as shit. Like, wow. And then there is, I hate to use the word political influence, but an agenda behind it. Damn. And then you get into guilt. Religiously, guilt. Like, what am I guilty the fuck for? I didn't do that shit, man.
So why do human beings today, right, that living in the modern era, think older cultures are better? You know what I'm saying? They do the answers. Like,
you know the answer to that, because through this God that evil is sitting at his footstep, this evil God said, and out of everybody out there, you are the special ones that I'm going to give this enlightenment to. Beyond it, be over everybody else. Another whole issue in itself. Like, well, damn. So through the era of people bugging out this fucking way, these motherfuckers have the answers because they were enlightened by this God. Only. Everybody else had a false concept and not them.
What you
Interesting.
at, Craige? What you at, Craige?
Interesting. You know what I'm saying? That we talk about this privately in my peer groups. And certain ones I stay away from that whole subject. You know what I mean? I pull back like, man, don't get me started with that shit, man.
Classic, what you at?
Right. You know what?
We got to get back to Giants, man. Ooh.
Seanski, it is an honor that you have shared this secret knowledge with us from
Secret
knowledge from your private peer. But we got to rock back with Dr. James, man. So, Dr. James, man, what do you have as a countermeasurement for what DJ Seanski broke down to you?
I don't know if there's much of a, I guess, a countermeasure in our view. I think for the most part of talking today, for the most part we agree. The only difference is I don't know if there's really a difference. Is he's laying evil at the foot of the Creator.
Right.
I do believe that evil is a byproduct of creation. So it's not like it was created, but it's just a byproduct. Like for instance, when I'm building a house, right, and I'm framing it up, there's waste, right? The waste is a byproduct of me framing the house. I didn't frame the house just to get the waste, right?
Right.
But it is there anyway, right? And that's kind of how evil is, because evil at the end of the day would be compatible to the second law of thermodynamics. Everything is going to decay, at some point in time, and decaying from the standpoint of life is evil. It's a negative thing, right? So these things, kind of, that's why death is considered an evil thing. It's contrary to life, but it must exist in order for life to exist, or at least a human life to exist. So there's no way around it. But I do think, at least for the Bible's sake, because he's been talking, like he said, a lot of his talking is geared towards the Abrahamic faiths and things like that. From their standpoint, I think God does take responsibility for the byproduct in the end, because in the end, he's supposed to take evil and all those which follow evil and destroy them once and for all, right? And then there will be no more evil. So it could be fully, again, we're talking about possibilities, not, because I would never assume to know the mind of God. But it could be very much so that in order to have creation, because creation is finite and vulnerable to decay, it may be that you must let evil run its natural course until you can eliminate that evil, right? And that evil is a byproduct, but you can't eliminate the byproduct until you're completely done with the creation. So I think that, that's why at the end of days, they talk about, God's going to take the quote unquote Satan, the great evil, and all those that follow him, throw them in the lake of fire, and that will be elimination of it. So they, at least from the biblical standpoint, God does take responsibility for that evil, which would be a natural byproduct of creating the world that's finite and vulnerable to decay.
Right.
Oh man. Hold on, Craig, I liked it. But let me ask a question for DJ Seanski right quick. Kelly, you have a problem with both the ancient world and modern science, man.
Oh yeah.
You said like both of them get it wrong, and I think James don't agree with it. Like I think he kind of will put that in a different perspective than you. So can you explain how you have a problem with both modern science, and the ancient text, or the ancient world? I'll put it like that.
They didn't get it right. Modern science don't got it all right, and neither do the ancient people. So I've always said that the creationist argument and the evolutionary argument, they just collide in the middle, and it's a fucked up mess. Like it, damn. When it comes to science, I'm an empiricist. Fuck that. It to me, like evolution and wild Darwinism, and Craig, I've talked about this. It's nothing but an institutionalized narrative now. I'm not saying Lyle and Darwin were just fucking assholes and just, you know, that they're just a bunch of dumb motherfuckers, but they definitely didn't get it right by spacing out everything like this with all the evidence that we saw. And it's like, well, damn, you're just spacing yourself away from theology, basically, but it's still theology within itself. It's somebody's independent analysis of the fossil record to create a different narrative that we don't have to look as deep into theology. We don't have to look at the ancient cultures. We can kind of just say, nah, it happened this way, and then this happened this way, and then people came and developed after 200,000 years of human beings and did it this way, and we're just coming through the whole cycle.
So you're a proponent to I guess a third third concept.
The third concept is we don't fucking know our origin. We only know a finite time period and have interpreted it two different ways. First was the religious way and the ancient people's way. The second way was through science. And then the third way was, well, the catastrophes did happen and that's all we remember. And nobody wants to talk about it that way because it puts it in clear context that, like I said, we're like a runaway train in terms of human beings. So I don't like the evolutionists beating up on the creationists, and creationists don't even stand a chance at that point. You know, but like an evolutionist can't just beat down on the creationists like they got all the fucking answers. Like, no, it don't work that way, man. But chemistry is a bad motherfucker. I use chemistry every day at work to not get sick and not get fucked up, man. It's exact. It's empirical as fuck, man. It's like, yeah, I know how many parts per million of a certain chemical released into the air and how if it exposes a rat or a lab animal can affect a human being. To make sure you don't get fucking sick at work. You got methanol in your hands? Come on, I'm taking you to the Iowa station. You got to get this shit off now. We have to call a goddamn ambulance, motherfucker. That's real empirical science. Anything speculative, you can say the fuck you want to say. The Bible and ancient testimony does support catastrophe. So does the fossil record. It sure does. Creationism might not be correct, and evolution then might not be correct. I said they just butt heads in the middle, and we just don't know what the fuck we talking about. I just sit back like this. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like they're just, again, two non sequiturs within themselves. Like, what the fuck, man?
Hey, Johnny Cassel. But yeah, home. What do you think about him saying it about both modern science in the ancient world, and they both wrong in this third concept?
I think you was absolutely right that I take it a different way. I look at it as they got it absolutely correct because I don't look at it from the standpoint of did they get it correct according to modern science. I look at it, did they get it correct according to the purpose in which they were using it for, right? Like they weren't using it in order to give a scientific explanation. No, they were using it for two very, very important purposes to any culture. It is the passing on of its moral and ethics, and to pass on historical events that took place within the history of the people. And that's exactly what it does. Even if we look at the biblical tradition, when it talks about the great flood, why does it call it the great flood? Well, if we look at the last ice age, what element are we talking about? Water. When it talks about the migration patterns of human beings, we can go back, look in the archaeological record, and see that most men go back to haplogroup. Well, all men go back to one of three haplogroups: haplogroup A and B, haplogroup DE, or haplogroup CF. If you look at the CF lineages, they migrate into Europe and the Near East. DE's in the Near East. A is in the Nile Valley. And the biblical tradition gives the eponymous ancestral names to them, to these people: Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And when you deal with eponymous ancestors, they're not saying that this is their exact name. They're saying that this person that they're talking about can either represent a single person or a complete people group that are migrating. That's what eponymous ancestors is, and that's the way ancients kept track of their traditions. They talked about their ancestor eponymously. So that's how you get those traditions. So
And then they also pass down the moral, the ethics, the principles of and traditions of the culture. Why? Because you encapsulate it in the historical event, right? So you achieve your purpose of passing on the two most important things to any culture, which is their moral, their ethic values, and their history, the historical events that took place in their history. Um, and a group that I work with, Yap Gang, we pretty much laid out and built that model to pretty much show how accurate it is in far as talking about the historical event. Um, and the last thing I'll say, where he was talking about, evolution versus creation. Me personally, I'm a theistic evolutionist. I have no issue with the idea of the creator creating the world to unfold on its own until the final creation in which he thought. Just like a computer programmer just writes the code, press power on the game, a whole world pops up and is created at that standpoint. I think it's the same type of concept. So if you apply that concept, then you can see how evolution is very true. But to fill in those gaps in evolution, you would just say, all right, it's part of the programming. That's why this spontaneously happens and takes place. Like the Cambrian explosion is just spontaneous. Boom. Why? Because it was already part of the programming that was built into the world when before it was ever created or unfolded. And I think that addresses the points that was made there.
All right. So check this out, right? Before you guys get back to it. So James, I got a question for you, man. Check this out. Of course, you and I, we believe in God, right? So these creatures, these heathens, will call us Bible thumpers. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So check this out. I find it interesting how a lot of individuals who would come to us, right, and ask us questions about God and say, why would your evil God put a baby in the microwave? Why would your evil God allow this woman to go through this with this man? Why would your evil God make me pay bills? All type of et cetera, genre, you know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff, right? But one thing that stood out the most in what they said was this, right? They would actually try to say that they are more righteous than God, right? Now, you and I both stated, we had these talks before, that we don't understand the minds of God, right? So if we don't understand the mind of God, these motherfuckers really don't understand the mind of motherfucking God, right? They just have the Bible and their opinion, which can change by whatever scholar comes out with something, a new tablet or new discovery. It changes off of that, right? So my question is, right, why is it that people who are so-called not spiritually inclined or invested to God trying to be more moral than God if they are, well, if he is a fictional entity to them?
Well, to be fair to DJ Seanski, he didn't say that he didn't believe in a creator. He just don't believe in a God, and
Right,
he sees gods as the fictitious things that human beings
Oh,
pretty
dang.
much create to explain reality.
right.
But as far as everyone else, wait, ask that last part of the question again.
Why would they try to out moral God
Oh.
at them?
I don't even understand atheists, real atheists,
Right,
stance on it ever even speaking on morality. Like morality don't exist to you if you're atheist.
yeah,
There's no objective moral standards.
Oh,
Morality is
dang.
completely subjective, completely based on everyone. On an atheist worldview, you know, I can consider murder okay. You can say it's wrong, and you're no more right than I am because everyone's just subjective, right?
right.
But us as you say Bible thumpers, which I'll accept it because that is my principal book of guidance.
Mine too.
Um, I'll say that as far as that's concerned, it gives us our moral compass. It gives us what it pretty much delineates right from wrong for us on top of our own reasoning, right? I don't think, like for instance, like if you look at it according to the history of the Judeans, um Moses didn't get, all their many commandments we find in there from God. He principally got 10, and then him and a bunch and like 70 elders went up on the mountains, spoke amongst each other, and came out. Some people say it was 613, some people say it's way more, some people say less. You know, that's how they came up with that, and that's the moral compass in which we use today to kind of guide us through our right and wrong. But it's based it on human reasoning. It ain't just based on, oh, God just handed this down to us. But yeah, they have no foundation to argue with morality. They can't say it ought to be this way, it ought to be that way, because the only way there can be objective moral values, meaning that an objective way things ought to be, is if a God does actually exist. And that's why I was saying, like, the emotional argument of God, of you don't like the fact that he did it this way, or you don't like the fact that he will exist, so you think he's an asshole for it or something like that. To me, it holds no bearing, because it holds no bearing on whether he exists or not. You're just kind of agreeing with me that God exists, but you don't like him. I mean, you don't have to like the creator or the manifestation of that creator I decide to like. I don't care if you do. My main thing is, if you're an atheist and you say no God exists, you don't need to be arguing, from moral values, because if you do, you're agreeing with me that a God does exist. And it just goes to, like I said, the emotional points of, oh, I don't like him. And nobody should live off their emotions. They should think about it. They should consider their emotions, but they shouldn't live based off their emotions and make such a grand decision. The implications on your life of accepting the existence of a God or not existence of a God is too
Right.
great to just base it on that.
Right.
Hey James, I got two things. So you basically said an atheist should not be don't know morals, bro.
No, I didn't say they don't know any morals, right? I'm saying to the atheist, morals are subjective, right? Mor-
Subjective.
Morals arise from a herd mentality of, oh, because I know a
Oh,
person didn't
okay.
do it
I
to
like
me,
that.
I won't do it to them, right? That's where morals come from on an atheist worldview. So any different herd could have different morality, and no one can say who's right or wrong, because everything's subjective, right? The only
Yeah.
way you can argue something is definitely right or wrong is if objective moral values exist.
So,
And if
so you
objective
believe in the
let me
universal
say this one
moral?
last part. Let me say this one
Okay,
last
my
part.
fault.
And if objective moral values exist, then an objective moral lawgiver must exist. Go ahead.
So you believe it's a creator that make universal morals?
Make I I
I
I
mean, create universal morals. Let me put
that
because
that
he's a
that that
creator.
would still I would still have to reword it. Because it ain't like he creates, it's just part of his nature, right? God is, by nature, is good, therefore it's just his nature and he's conveying his nature to us. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
right, and good is based on the nature of God. So that's how we get our objective moral values, because of the nature of God. And wrong would be and evil would be to go against the nature of God.
Okay. Okay. I dig it. I dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it.
So, Ratchet Craig, either way, you're going to hell.
Yeah, I know. But I told you when I be in here, I'm gonna have a air conditioning system down there, so I'll be all right. I'm gonna make a
See,
fire.
that's where y'all confused at. Y'all gotta well, it because y'all talking about hell. Y'all sound like Bible believers. I thought God's throne was a throne of fire. I'm pretty sure hell probably cold. You know what I'm saying? Now the lake of fire hot, but I don't know if hell's hot. You know what I mean?
Either way, Ratchet Craig, you're going to suffer. I mean,
Yeah, it's okay.
There's no if, ands, or
I've been suffering in this life, brother. It ain't gonna be no different.
yeah. You're gonna have more baby mamas and hills and shit.
I ain't say more.
Little demon babies.
I don't need no more baby mamas, bro. They sound terrible.
Yeah, but
That boy was making him on earth, and then he go to hell and can't stop. That's gonna be your punishment in hell. You just can't stop making it.
yeah, you're gonna have ignorant baby mamas, man. But this one thing I want to say, man. Yo, this was a very interesting discussion, man. This was a very, very powerful discussion. Going on 2 hours, man. Y'all brothers did y'all thing, man. And we saw y'all going at it, man. Well, RaXchet saw y'all going at it. He like, get them niggas up here, Craige. That was his exact word, and stuff like that. But because I'm wearing the Dungeon Family jersey, I gotta say this, right? Captain Cassel. So this is the thing right here, right? On the verses, right? The battle of ideologies, we just don't cover topics like this, right? It's whatever you want it to be, right? We can talk about, politics. We can talk about, major things in the news. You know what I'm saying?
Red pill, blue pill. You don't make no difference.
Green pill, orange pill, knick-knack, paddywhack. Which pill should I take today? It does.
Yeah.
Day, right?
Just take your pill. Take your pills.
If you have an argument that needs to be had, you can come up here. We won't be biased. If it's stupid, we'll tell you it's stupid, and hell no, we ain't finna do it.
Bring me them Jordan lovers. You already know.
Oh, he cut straight to the
Bring me them Jordan lovers. They sitting here trying to compare him to the GOAT, LeBron James. Bring them to me. I'm ready for that debate. Whoever ready.
Oh, wait. Do you have anybody you would like to call out? Anybody that's loud as hell, that screams all the damn time about how great Jordan is?
Oh man, you know who it is. His name's slipping my mind right now. You know exactly who it is.
Who is it, brother?
Bro,
I know.
Hey, you know what's his name, bro? You know what it is, bro. I can't. It's slipping my mind, bro. It's on the tip of my tongue too.
Bro, I know he yells a lot, bro. I know he just loud. He's so damn loud. When you try to talk to him, he just start yelling and shit. You gotta walk away from him. So,
hey, you just named 6 people though. Now you confuse me. Oh man.
I mean, bro, the dude is known for, he's the greatest yelling man in the conscious community, brother. Greatest yeller, the greatest workout addict. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? If you have anybody, you know what I'm saying? Anybody, Chief. Anybody at the end of the day, right? You gotta let me know.
Hey, man. I'll say this real quick though. I know there's a 5%er out there. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a boy that be stumping through the streets of New York. You know what I'm saying out there.
I can't wait to go back and tell.
I know it's a dude that every time I see him online, he benches like 300. You understand?
I'm telling.
But he's gonna need to bench all 300 of them when he come trying to defend Michael Jordan against LeBron James. Rob Bourne, Allah.
Oh man, I'm telling.
Rob Bourne, I'm calling you out, brother. If you want to stand by Michael Jordan compared to LeBron James, the man with the most points in NBA history, every time this dude do a layup is a new record. Every time he shoot a free throw and make it is a new record. Come on, bro.
Oh man, I can't wait to go tell this. Call me tell. Go back and tell RaXchet Craige. I'm telling.
Don't call you RaXchet Snitch. You know what I'm saying? RaXchet.
Hey, I put up the link to the video that you shared with me, Craig. So I'm gonna tag his name in there. So it's gonna be at the end. So when he watch it, he gonna see it.
Damn. Hey, your brother and LeBron James, right? Your brother and LeBron James, brother Lavelle said, James, go in, brother. Go in. DMG hating. He said, I like this guy till he said that bull-ish.
Hey, look, man.
Hey, brother Bailey get beat up. Brother Bailey get beat up on the LeBron James
Hey,
argument.
look, they can like this 6'6",
Get beat up.
215-pound guy compared to this 6'9", 275-pound at least man who runs just as fast, jumps just as high in LeBron. Oh, well, not just as high. Well, 4 inches less, but when you're 4 inches taller, what it matter?
He said what it matter.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So they coming at you, Cassel. They coming at you already. Look, right now I'm saying.
Hey, look here. What they gonna say? He a better scorer than LeBron? LeBron has the most points
right
in NBA history. Most points in NBA history. You can't get around it. Nobody ever thought Kareem's record would be broken. And then came LeBron James. They gonna cry, oh, Jordan set out for 2 years. It was really a year and a half, but like 2 years and blah, blah, blah. That's his fault. I ain't gonna hold that against LeBron because Jordan had gambling allegations surrounding him. LeBron ain't never. When the last time you heard something about LeBron when he was in high school with a Hummel? Ain't heard nothing since.
Oh man. Hold on. We gotta say some of this. We gotta say some of this for the.
Okay. I wasn't going deep.
We go all the way in, Craig. Craig, you think you slick?
Oh man,
you think you slick? I peeked you. Let's go to get these brothers. They closed arguments and how they think about this debate and how.
Before we get to that, RaXchet, hey DJ Seanski, do you have anyone you would want to be on the battle of ideologies with you?
No, like I said, Cassel was talking shit on Facebook, so I was like, I told y'all niggas, yo, Cassel talking shit. Well, we gonna just let's do a show like real quick. I can't type shit out and that stuff on Facebook to me. I don't got time for that. Like we could just come over here and talk, and it was a great discussion anyway.
Yeah, but see, do you have anybody else you would want up? You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, not for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to set it off. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just trying to set it off. No, unless Joshua want to get back up front and center.
Oh, man.
Center, nigga. Because again, I'm gonna put my camera on for this. So again, the great master, my master, Professor Gunnar Heinzholm. People don't get what I was doing in that debate years ago. Gunnar Heinzholm's my master. You know what I'm saying? Like a Jedi Knight. I have a story with him in our relationship, and I'm the gatekeeper of all of his shit, man. And I can present it and disseminate it and stuff. And we became cool. Then he died on me, like, whoa, what's up with that? You want to come back out about the Hebrew culture and when they existed? The questions are still on the table from that debate 3 years ago. I said, you lost the debate, Seanski. Okay, cool. The questions are still on the fucking table. Did the Hebrew culture exist before the 7th century? Let's talk about that.
So you want to revisit that?
Talk about it, because this is for them thumpers, them hardcore thumpers, like them Israelite radicals. Like, slow down, man. Slow down.
What did that brother have a change of view? He don't view it like that no more. What?
Then change your view. Yeah. Change your fucking view. I mean, I can go with it any kind of way because again, I'm exposed to the scholars. So Manfred B. Attack was a guest on History Valley 3 times. The excavator at Ivory, Egypt, the Hyksos territory. We can build a framework right from there. Because my master teacher and him banged it out since 88. And, let's go. Let's go with the real shit. So when I talk shit, I can go right to the horse's mouth. Fuck it. Come on here. Let me interview you real quick and you break it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not back here talking shit.
Hey, was that the name I think I heard you said? What name was that again? He said
Professor Gunnar Heinzholm from.
No. I'm saying who you called out for the debate.
Joshua.
I was just making sure it was who I thought it was.
Ever, though. That was one.
Yeah, he want to revisit that topic they had on the source.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna see, but if he's not interested, I do got somebody else who's actually been really working on the whole Exodus thing and the early Israel thing. So He'll probably
Oh, man.
so you got two options. So if the shoe can't do it, I'll have a backup.
Like I said, you was a team player. Like I said, I love you, brother.
Hey, you know how I am.
All right,
I'm
what's
always
up?
down for the team.
Let's run it back. Let's still put the issues back on the table. This is a great platform, and we just doing it like that. And one thing we didn't do tonight, which is where I definitely support the Slim Reaper. He didn't have to pull up a PowerPoint and sources and nigga this and that. We had a great conversation, a dialogue, man. Let's talk about it and just get it out there without having sources. I don't pull sources up when I'm debating with academians and people on Jacob's channel, the History Valley channel. We don't do that. We just talk, man. Ain't no, just talk, man, and don't misrepresent what you're talking about, and that's it. Give the people something to go off of, and then back the fuck up. We don't gotta debate and show sources and do that. Just know what the fuck you're talking about, and he obviously knows what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? He presented the counter argument to my argument, though he didn't even know where my argument was coming from, and we cool at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's just talking and dialoguing. That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, for real. Ain't no winners and losers in the debate anyway. Collegiately, academically, come on, man. I talked to Robert Price on the telephone. I got his personal phone number, even though he's considered a racist and stuff. Him and Bart Ehrman, they go at it and stuff. They don't be like, my source says that I did, but they don't gotta do all that. Let's just talk and get it out, and that's it. People going.
Let me make a correction right quick. It's Yashub. It's not Joshua no more. It's Yashub.
We spell it with a J though on the
it's Yashub now.
Yeah, but I'm glad James came on, and I'll say this: I have a different take on you, young brother. I'm calling him young brother because I know you're younger than me. Than just going back and forth on Facebook or Messenger. You know what I'm saying? It's how we're supposed to do it anyway. With flair, but still with dignity toward each other. Damn.
Yeah. And
rather than anything else, like I'm with it, man.
Mano a mano, you know what I'm saying? Craig and Craig Law Firm, unite people, bring them together. You know what I'm saying? We stop.
Is that how we feel? It's just how we feel.
Yeah.
This is how we feel.
Craig, I'm trying to save the Israelites and Christians from going to hell with you, even though I'm like a quasi-atheist. I'm trying to save them. Taking the hell on the Hell Express, like woo woo. Like I'm like holding back, like don't do that. You know what I mean?
Hey, James. Before y'all let you go in, James, do you have any closing statement?
Yeah, I got some. Hey, I want to just say, hey, big props to you, bro. Like same sentiments, man. New respect for you. I didn't really understand quite where you was coming from online, and I think you caught me in troll mode, right? Because I was talking to like 3 or 4 different dudes, and I had got beyond explaining it to them to just, casting them off and whatever. And I think you caught me in the midst of that, so you end up getting some of that undeservingly. So I apologize to you for that if I offended you. But I'm glad it turned into this conversation. I think it was very highly productive. Before this, I thought you would have been, one of them secretive atheist dudes trying to hide behind atheism, but I see you say you're pretty much like a quasi-deist. I'm kind of semi-deist too in a way, so I get where you're coming from in that, and that's why I think we kind of agreed on a lot of things while disagreeing on other things, and I do think that the conversation was very productive. I think the people will get a lot out of listening to us explaining both of our sides to that, responding to what each other's saying, and I think all together this was just a great event, and I'm glad that we could kick it off for these guys, man. For real.
Man, we glad y'all came over here. This is the first official versus battle of the ideologies, man. And we couldn't do it with too great of people, man. And I'm glad y'all had respect. I thought I'd go hear some bitch ass niggas, some punk ass niggas, weak ass niggas. I thought I'd go hear it all. I was ready to put my enforcer on. I had my enforcer, I had my security uniform on and everything, man. Yeah, made my job too easy today, man.
See, he couldn't use his ratchet reverend gimmick. That's what he mad about at the end of the day. He couldn't say, "Now, brother, stop, brother. Don't call him a bitch ass nigga, even though you feel like that." But one thing I would say, y'all lucky that the one and only legendary and the greatest debater of all time and the king of Kemet on trial, Israel Doctrine, wasn't on this motherfucker. Y'all both would have been in trouble, man. Y'all would have been. Y'all.
Israel Doctrine, baby.
I don't want no smoke. You know, I done got that smoke twice before. I'm good.
I gotta. One thing I have to say though, DJ Seanski, this guy, I don't know who this guy is. I think his name is GMD Poet Da or whatever his name is. He screamed freakishly Captain K versus DJ Seanski. He screamed that. You know what I'm saying?
See, if that would ever happen, I need Johanna front and center because he remembers me from back in the day. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Bring Johanna up to the fucking front and center because Zaryak.
Oh man.
Look, nigga, Zaryak is like a Padawan. You want to get your fucking arm cut off, nigga? You better bring your master out and don't even go there. Bring your master out.
Oh man.
Me and Zaryak aren't peers, but me and Johanna, well, they don't say we're peers because back in the Israelite Church of UPK back in the day, he was a general and I'm just a fucking minion 5,000 officer. Fuck that, nigga. We peers. You closer to the Most High? Word. Let's talk. But he wouldn't do it. You know, that's my nigga. I don't have nothing bad to say about Johanna. I've always said that. You know what I mean? It's just what we saying right now. I know the nigga, man. Like it ain't even that deep.
Put some respect on that man. And in general.
Yeah, them niggas is cool though. Yeah, I ain't gonna front. You know what I mean? Like, but all right.
Yeah, we love us a General Johannes over here.
And in general,
you better bring your master swordsman out, nigga. You bring your master swordsman out. I've asked Zaryak questions over the years too, nigga. Just questions. I just have questions, man. Just fucking questions. Answer the question. Show me your evidence, and that's all I got to say. If you go to the Bible, you're disqualified immediately. We're not talking about the Bible. We're Israelites that migrated to fucking West Africa. Word? Word is born.
Hey,
we want to talk about this shit. We're going to talk about the ruling fucking Europe during the Dark Ages and all that crazy shit from back in the day. They kind of suppress that now, though. But that it works so how King James is black.
Hey, we gonna save that discussion.
Yeah,
later.
Yeah. See, I when y'all had that discussion, I gotta make sure I'm not around because I ain't feeling get jumped by ISUPK like you niggas. You know. But I'm gonna say, James.
I'm done. I got my popcorn. I'm gonna instigate too. So I'm down.
Hey man, all you gonna say is you're an atheist. They gonna kill your ass, dude.
Hey, I die and come back, nigga.
Hey,
more than Jesus. I die and come back more than Jesus. Nigga.
I just don't believe in the Bible God or the God of the Quran or the Egyptian gods or none of that from a certain point of view.
Hey, but do you believe in the Creator?
I would argue a creator. I said. I didn't say believe, nigga. I said
because Cassel said you believe in the Creator, basically.
Words,
I heard that. I missed that out on it.
That was him using Creator rather than God, but then they're two different things at that point. Creator can have flaws, but the Creator concept is different than the God concept. But again, that's my own thing with my peers. We can talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a better argument than saying,
"Hey, James in the peanut gallery over there. James Cassel in the peanut gallery trying to start
something. I'm trying to get it riled up."
Yo.
Hey. Talk. We don't. You know, it's. You know, he's not coming from a radical Israelite stance, and like you said, we were misunderstood on Facebook. When you called me out, James. You can't do that to me, man, and say I'm not looking for the truth and stuff. And I told them niggas, I went through hell when I was an undergrad in college. The only motherfucker to check me ever, is the reason why I am who I am today. His name is Dr. Richard Lamberski. He was the dean of the communications media department at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, and he checked me fucking so hard. I'm like, no nigga on Facebook can check me, man. You can't just be like, oh, nigga, he don't want the truth and stuff. But now that was misunderstood at that point. But like I told my story, like I've been checked by, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you, DJ Seanski. We got you.
But let me
but let me make this. Craige, do you want to do the honor? Or I should do the honor
for this nigga. I mean, hey, originally
you gonna fuck it up, Craige. You gonna fumble the bag. You gonna fumble the bag. Watch.
He has the most shiny pearly whites ever. He will beat your ass, feed you. Don't talk about my bitch ass nigga. I'm not you niggas, and I don't answer my phone at all. I'm on fuck y'all. I gotta give a warm welcome to the one and the only man of the hour. Yes, that's real gold, 24 karat gold that your ass can't afford. The one, the obsession, DM motherfucking G. What's good, D Money in the house? What it do, homie?
Hey, now that was a goddamn introduction. You heard me? but I just want to say, hey man, this was a hell of a show. I enjoyed it. I had to take some me time and some us time with the queen, but to come back and see this show on the platform was a pleasure. This is why the Craige and Craige law firm is essential to the current success and the ongoing success of Paradigm Shift TV, and why I call them my VPs of platform production and etc. That being said, shout out to DJ Seanski. He one of my favorite cats. I like the brother James Cassel up until a certain point when he got to talking about LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, but I ain't gonna get into that right now. I say that for the sports dungeon. I'm gonna leave that alone. But that almost made me vomit in my mouth. But other than that, this was an excellent show. I wanted to give everybody involved a props. Shout out to y'all. I'm still looking for that DJ Seanski versus the Slim Reaper though. I don't know when we're going to be able to get that in or if we're going to be able to get that in. I know DJ Seanski ain't scared. I don't know if he didn't took the scythe from the Slim Reaper and he hiding. But shout out to Leandre wherever you are, because I know you're out there. Are you scared of DJ Seanski?
I think Moody Wall won't Slim Reaper now.
Yeah.
So
Moody Wall won't him now. Moody Wall been adamant about it. You can call it on.
Little Lucifer himself.
Little Lucifer against the Grim Reaper. Who more powerful, the devil or death himself?
Hey, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't want to say I support the Slim Reaper, except for that little small part. I gotta come with my lightsaber and fuck him up. Pop. I agree with you, and we'll just call it a draw, young bull. Like I got you, but like with a lot of what he's saying, like damn, yeah, I'm with him. Raise the fucking bar up in this shit. Cassel showed the bar is like, come on, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, he gonna have to take a lightsaber thrashing. I ain't gonna stab him to death because I can't, because he got his own mind and I can't break through. But I'm gonna have to pop, nigga. I'm gonna have to get up in you for a second and then let go, because I agree with him broadly. Shit, man. He's an underground though. He's an underground artist, like we all are. Like shit. Raise the bar, shit, man. Don't you know what I mean? All the bullshit back, mates and shit, nigga. Slim Reaper, that nigga. But we gonna have to lock swords, nigga. I'm saying,
right.
That's
nigga, what? As your elder, I'm gonna pull my belt off, nigga. What?
Oh man. Hey, DOG, let me ask you a question right quick.
Go for it.
Have you ever heard of James Cassel? That was my labor mate. That was one of my labor mates, man. We was stranded on source debate with each other.
Yeah, I heard of him. I had never seen him, put down his demonstrations until tonight, but I had definitely heard of him. And like I said, I was like, damn, this brother thorough. And then He made me throw up in my mouth talking that LeBron James shit.
Hey.
I was like, damn, this brother.
He get that sport dungeon. He get that sport dungeon.
Yeah. I was like, this brother cold. And listen, hey, shout out and respect to LeBron James. It ain't nothing wrong with being the second greatest player of all time. But
you said second? Did you give him second?
Yeah, I think he said second.
I give him second.
We talking about the dude who never beat Larry Bird in a series. What? The greatest ever? Stop.
Right.
Stop it.
Right. Yeah. And you giving it to a dude that's what 4-6 in the finals?
Yeah, he went there way more than your guy could ever dream about
I
going.
don't like you can get there all you want to, but if you don't win, what's the point?
So I guess Eastern Conference championships don't matter. And you say if you don't win, what's the point? The point is. Wait a minute. The point is 30 teams. If you run a race and
you don't cross the finish line, what's the point?
Is 30 teams. Wait a minute, you do cross the finish line. You just don't cross it in number one.
Exactly.
You better than 28 other teams in the NBA. That's something.
And LeBron James.
I don't care what nobody says. That's something.
In the 50+ year history of the NBA,
and he never had. And when he only won consistently when he got a Scottie Pippen.
That is nothing. There's nothing to frown upon.
Hey, Jordan ain't win till he got a Scottie Pippen, right?
LeBron James ain't did nothing without Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh.
Look, that 07 finals LeBron went to. Who was the second best player on the team?
And I'm gonna tell you.
In 07, who was the second best player on the team?
He got swept.
Okay, break this up, Craige. Craige, break this up.
Hey, wait a minute. Let me make this point real quick.
Go ahead, make the point.
Jordan couldn't get out the first round because of Larry Bird. LeBron with
a man who won the MVP 3 years in a row
on any other team. LeBron that would be bench riders at the end of the bench on any other team, like Booby Gibson from H-Town, Daniel Gibson was the second best player in the playoffs for him that year.
Oh, man. Hey, I gotta stop.
LeBron James ain't never went against nobody
Jordan
better
had a
than Larry
team
Bird.
like that, he couldn't get past the first round.
Who LeBron went against that's better than Larry Bird, a man that won 3 straight MVPs?
What? The Warriors team is way better than the Celtics. Come on, man. That's who can. Hey, wait a minute. We talking about a series where LeBron had all players. Hold up. LeBron had all players in every statistical category, every one of them. And he's trying to act like LeBron wasn't enough.
Hold on. We got to say this for the sports does. Y'all can't do this right now.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Durant.
Hold on. DMG, I know you admin right now. We talk about the battle of the ideology. Y'all got to say this for the sport does. We're going to set this up. Because y'all going too hard. We're going to set this up.
Hey, Reg, I was wild Africans. I was afraid they might bite me or some shit, you know?
Yeah. You got scared. You start hiding. You hide.
Sports get you a little bit more riled up. You know?
The couch.
Let me throw this at the wall though. Speaking of brother Cassel. Let me throw this at the wall and see what y'all think. How about brother Cassel having a conversation with y'all favorite he just nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody.
Who, Jay Cassel and nobody? Jay Cassel and nobody.
Yeah.
Oh man, why you? Okay.
I said let me throw it at the wall.
I ain't gonna stop it.
What y'all think?
Man.
It's better than ideologies, man. I mean,
it's better than ideology. Jay Cassel, come on. All right, I like it.
Hold on, but before
I don't think nobody go. I think nobody go hide his tail and tuck his tail though.
Hey, listen, we gotta get brother Cassel back over here by any means necessary.
We would have to.
Oh yeah.
It would be some things we would have to set up for that. I mean, that is exemplary, and I rarely use that, and I don't see no person use that at all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying this, right? That would have to be tended with very special care, but that can happen. You know what I'm saying? But that'll be a hell of a show. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, they're gonna be hellified. That's why I'm kind of shocked that DMG threw it out there. Like, I thought about it, like, quick. I like, ooh, that'll be good.
And you know,
but I think nobody cares. Might bag off.
I don't know.
When he see this tonight, these two brothers put on this great event, I think nobody gonna run.
Brother, I'm gonna say this: the brother James Cassel would probably be his greatest challenge to date. I don't know if he's gonna tuck his tail though.
He tucking it.
It's not.
He tucking it.
Well,
This outside, this ain't battling you, DMG. This ain't battling me. This is somebody that ain't a part of this. I don't think he could.
This ain't friendly fire. This ain't gonna be friendly fire. This
ain't gonna be no friendly fire. No.
Yeah.
I know James. James is a beast. We call him the artist for a reason.
I'm break my head off about LeBron James. So you know, I already see this ain't gonna be no cakewalk. But hey, let's see if we can set that up.
So, and you know, James already for
Man.
another thing.
I'm telling you, your bro gonna cop deuces. He gonna start bromancing him. Like he try to bromance me. He gonna try to bromance him.
Hey, Ratchet, quit crying, man. Oh, quit doing that to nobody, man. And nobody ain't trying to bromance you. Get that out your head.
Yeah, he gonna go roaming on me. He gonna go roaming on me, bro. He gonna go roaming on me.
DLG, James Cassel already called out the one and only, very loud Rob Bourne about Jordan too, right? You know.
Yeah, I heard that.
We got a lot to work on, brother. We got
line them up, man. I'm taking all kind of challenges, baby.
That's a good one. Rob Bourne will be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, like if he comes on here, man, he got a requirement. He got to turn his volume all the way down, and we got to wear earplugs and stuff like that. And he got to be in a soundproof wall that absorbs the sound. But I hope that none of us go deaf and our ears bleed, but how loud he'll be talking in the microphone and stuff like that. And if for anybody that has sensitive feelings, he won't be yelling at you. That's just how he is. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, but Craige, we ain't finna work this sports dodge. Y'all trying to work this sports dodge. Y'all lead it on the sports dodge. This right here, the battle of the ideologies, man. Y'all chill on this sports dodge crap.
Shout out to the one and only sports guru, Gab T'Challa. Y'all check out the Sports Dungeon. It's coming back in full force. Gab T'Challa is the sports guru. We coming back with the Sports Dungeon. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. Don't listen to RaXchet Craige. We is bigging up the Sports Dungeon just like
y'all trying to make this whole show about this, man. This is the battle of the ideology. This is the first official one, and y'all try to co-op.
This was a hell of a show. I just wanted to thank everybody involved. Thank the two brothers for going at it. Thank the Craige and Craige law firm. I appreciate y'all contribution to the channel. I just wanted to make sure I acknowledged everybody. Even the brother talking reckless about LeBron James and Jordan, Mr. Cassel, I salute you. DJ Seanski, salute. Craige and Craige, my brothers, appreciate y'all. I'm signing off. I'll be live tomorrow. We got the 4-year anniversary of Paradigm Shift coming up. I'm going to come on and talk some noise. Hopefully y'all can come on with me. And
When you gonna do that? When you gonna do that?
Tomorrow, 5 p.m.
I'm jumping on your show. I'm gonna be P. Diddy on that motherfucker, nigga. I'm jumping in tomorrow, Craige.
Man, I'm being late. I'm gonna be late on purpose.
We pushing towards our 1,000 subscriber mark. The little channel that could, you know what I'm saying? So
the little engine they could, the little channel they could.
There you go. So we done went up about 200 subscribers since the Craige and Craige law firm joined on. For everybody that keep on hating, because we moving. So with that being said, hey, Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Appreciate y'all. Hell of a show.
All right, Craig, where you at? We got the yeah, man. Craig, where you at? You didn't.
I still see it on live.
Oh, man.
You have to cut the feed.
Yeah, we definitely still live. But shout out to Paradigm Shift.
Yeah, shout out, man. Appreciate you, brothers, man. Yeah. And I really enjoyed this way more than I thought to. I knew it would be good, but I enjoyed this, man. I thought I had to have my security uniform on. I got a little anxiety and everything, bro.
So I think the brother started it off right. The way he started off, he kind of brought out that he took exception to the way I approached him, and respect brother to brother. I know I was in troll mode, so I just came out real respectable to show him that I ain't just some dude online acting a fool, that I can approach this like a man.
Yeah, man. God, both of y'all was heated when we first brought it up. Then y'all was so professional, brother. I like, damn. I learned something from this today.
I was trolling too, though, and then he called me out for trolling. I'm like, this nigga trolling too on LP.
Y'all call each other out for trolling. Both of y'all doing it.
He's both trolling. He's like, you trolling, nigga? Like, this nigga trolling too. Like, then he made another post, and I'm like, nah, stop. I'm at work, nigga. Like, yo, Seanski, what's up? And I'm like, no, I'm at work, man. We'll do this on a live. Like, we could talk more in 5 minutes, and we can type. Like, let's just fucking do it on a live. You know what I mean? And that's it. Craig, like, and it was dope. I was like, yeah, this is talk and shit, discussing rather than arguing shit. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Johnny Cassel, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit more, man. Hear me out if you want to, brother. And I talk to you on kind of on a regular basis, DJ Seanski. So we gonna continue to talk. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, because I want to get some debates in, especially in that sports dungeon. I want to get in there.
The sports dungeon, and we gonna let you talk to nobody cares. This is gonna be a good one for you. You gonna like it though. You'll like it.
Okay, that's what's up, man. I'm into, like I said, I'm interested in it, man.
We go try to make it happen. Cause I'm gonna talk to you behind the scenes, man. I don't want to put too much out here. People will be trying to, swindle things, man. When they hear
there you go, RaXchet philosophizing again.
Yeah. So thank you, brother, man. And anything y'all want to say, promote yourself any type of way. How people can contact y'all, anything, do it now or forever hold your peace, man.
The website I have is called priori.com. It's still under construction, but that's what I have to offer. The old website was called If I See You, and it's currently down. The domain expired. It's only in the Wayback Machine. You know what I'm saying? So anything that I talk about when these back chat conversations and when we out here doing it like this, I already have logged, on the internet, and it's just a guide. It's just articles, 680 articles on various subjects to talk about whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whether we pro or con, it don't matter. And just having simple dialogue. Priori.com. Priori. I know you guys are like, well, how do you spell that? CIRIORI.com. Priori.com.
All right. Guys, you got anything, brother?
Man, I just say I just say that y'all can go to Yap Gang Scholarship. We got some videos there on the YouTube channel who brother DJ Seanski called out. Got some videos up on there. And
Genesis 49?
Yeah, Genesis 49ers. And then DJ Seanski is and others like himself is inspiring brothers like me to get my own YouTube videos channel going and get me a little website with a little
Man.
blog for my presentations I be doing and stuff like that.
Yeah, Giles, you got to do that, Giles. I told you, you the OG. I knew you before I knew a lot of these cats back here. You know, I remember you for Blog Talk days, so, you know, yeah.
Yeah, man, you know, I just was focused on so much, but now that, you know, I done started, you know, building my duplexes I'm building now, I got a little bit of extra free time, so I should be able to squeeze some things out.
This was up.
Hey, and before I close this out, man, I got to address some people in the peanut gallery or the audience. We got brother Gail T'Challa said, Giants, are you okay? LBG is wet. and then I got brother D Red said who won. I guess he asked who won the debate, and they're gonna say there was a discussion. You choose who won the debate based off you watching it. And who you agree with, and maybe we can have a future, you know what I'm saying, a future show based off this, a spin-off off this. And then Gav said Joshua got beat up on Genesis Packers. He called them Genesis Packers. He's not a 49er fan, he's a Packer fan. So Gail tripping back there. He trolling. So yeah. So last time, man, let me end with a song, man. And man, enjoyed this show with you brothers, man. And I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all put out y'all precious time, man, because both of y'all brothers are working. Y'all real life. You know what I'm saying? And y'all was able to grace everybody with y'all scholarship and opinions and y'all factual information, and y'all, you know, do what y'all do, man. And we love this back here, man. This is the battle of the ideology, man, versus dialogue. So, you know.
And hey, I gotta say this, man. Y'all,
okay, go ahead, Craige.
Y'all had an excellent discussion. There was a lot of decorum, like what my great master teacher Mudawa said, a lot of decorum. Great decorum. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but pure decorum, nothing but pure respect. That's how men operate. That's how they handle it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I know RaXchet Craige is upset because he didn't hear no ratchet energies that he can feed on and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I enjoy it a lot. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But one thing I would like to say, is, this is Paradigm Shift, Craige & Craige Law Firm on the Whole Effing Show, powered by the Whole Effing Show. Please like, share, and subscribe at the end of the day. Shout out to all our supporters. Shout out to all the fam. Shout out to the haters. Shout out to you all for coming and supporting these two brothers and us, and we hope to see you again. Take it away with the Ratchet song, Ratchet.
All right, I'm going back to the beginning.
Tell me what a real nigga supposed to do. Never let the fake bitches close to you. Never let the fake niggas close to you. If you see me jigging, I'm supposed to choose. Pop two jiggers might propose to you. She jigging on the speaker like she pro. Beat 12, man, you already know. No roof on, she already chose. Let me do my dance like I'm Hammer, I suppose. Real pimp shit, got her coming out in clothes, and she coming out with O's. I ain't stingy with no dough, oh no. If your nigga tripping, I'm supposed to shoot. Put two motherfucking holes in you. But I'm just trying to chill and lay low. Now when they take your picture, halo for you. Stuck real hard with the whole crew. Pop bottles. Stuck real hard with the whole damn crew. We pop models. Tell me what a real nigga supposed to do. Never let them fake bitches close to you. Never let them fake niggas close. Oh no. Tell me what a real nigga supposed to do. Never let them fake bitches close to you. Never let them fake niggas close. Oh no. Do you you something bad the way I'm coming, that's your ass, nigga. Pop up off the grass, black mask with a lot of triggers. That's just why they mad I show my ass by that muddy river. Bitch, make the coupe hit loops, been the truth up in the booth. If you wanna reduce, what a proof, nigga. Act real bad, it's all true, nigga. Stuck to the bullshit glue, nigga. Give me what you got for a piece of that pork chop, hot box shit. Got your throat hot, ass of that motherfucker. I see through that bullshit that you spit, pull it out, suck the dick, bitch. Now tell me what a real nigga should do. But I know your ass a freak, I can't trust you. Name all over the streets, I can't tuck you. I need 600 degrees of ain't face card good, EF Hutton in this motherfucker. When I'm speaking, shut the fuck up, ugly motherfucker. Like me, bitch, you be like me, bitch. I got an ice cream bitch and she always with a spoon. Tell me what a real nigga supposed to do. Never let them fake bitches close to you. Never let them fake niggas close. Oh no. Tell me what a real nigga supposed to do. Never let them fake bitches close to you. Never let them fake niggas close. Oh no.
Hey man, it's that motherfucking battle of the ideologies, man. Battle of the ideologies.
Tell me what a real nigga supposed to do. Never
That
let
verse.
fake bitches close to you. Never let them fake niggas close to you.
Oh no.
You see me jigging, I'm supposed to chew. Pop two jiggers, might propose to you.